All right, back to That Metal Podcast, episode 12. Got my co-host, Manny.
What's up, Dave?
Just chilling, dude. So, just got back from 70K, fucking tired. That's all I've been up to lately. But,
dude, I want to discuss that already.
Yeah.
I have a few questions about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
That's that. So first question is always like, since I always kind of feel like we always have to expand our minds.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been listening to lately?
Well, I don't think this would fall under metal, but
yeah,
it's rock, I guess. Well, it is rock.
Sure.
It's this album from Roger Waters called, is it Radio Chaos?
Mm-hmm.
It might be Radio Chaos, but I like Roger Waters for the fact that he makes like a political statement.
Yeah.
And most of his albums are about, having a say against the current government system.
Yeah.
And it's actually called The Muse to Death. That's the album.
Is that recent?
What do you mean?
How long? When did that come out?
92.
Okay.
That's from his solo career. He's
Right.
obviously from Pink Floyd.
Right.
And I mean, I would really recommend that album for people that are into Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not metal like I said, but it's...
Yeah.
I was listening to that album earlier.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that album. Like, I could listen to it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was thinking about that when we're pre-production, we're just talking, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, I mean, other than the album that I'm gonna review, that I'm gonna give a review for,
Yeah.
and the recommendation that I'm gonna give as well, I've been listening to a lot of those too lately. But ever since I got back from 70K, man, there's just so many fucking bands that I just didn't even want to listen to shit when I got home. Really? Yeah, dude. I just heard so much music out there. So I've just been chilling out, listening to podcasts, George Perez stories, or I'll listen to like, Rogan or whatever. Just
Joe Rogan?
Yeah. Just shit that's out there. I've been listening to that, especially in the mornings before going to work.
Yeah.
Usually I'll be listening to fucking like metal just to pump me up to get me ready for the day or whatever. But this week I've been real calm, just chill, just been listening to a lot of podcasts and whatnot.
You're mellowed out from the
I
cruise?
think it's just a little bit, yeah. I just want to listen, and I've been listening obviously like the old classic stuff,
Yeah.
A lot of Foreigner and just,
how was Sodom?
You know what? I missed fucking Sodom, dude. Yeah, because I'll tell you, man. Well, let's get into 70K. We'll talk about the other topic afterwards.
Okay.
But so what ended up happening was you had to pick. You're gonna make some sacrifices, man, because there was a lot of bands playing, and there was like 2 or 3 bands playing at one time at the same exact time. So you had to pick. Shit, who am I gonna pick to go watch at that time? You know what I mean? So you had to decide shit. And so there were a lot of bands that I couldn't miss. Like I missed Sodom and I missed Tiamat. There were a lot of bands that I didn't get to watch.
Hey, so that like I heard shows would go up to like 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. There were some bands playing at 5:15 a.m.
That's too late or too early or.
Well, you know what? Because think of it as like living on the ship for those days, right? You're just living on there. And really quick to just recap, I'm talking about the 70,000 tons of metal cruise that's on through Royal Caribbean, and it's basically a metal festival, and it goes out to sometimes to the Bahamas. This one went to Haiti, beautiful place. Next in 2020, it's going to go to Cozumel, Mexico.
Oh,
Cozumel, Mexico.
Oh, nice.
So that's next year. January 7th through 11th. It's a Tuesday through Saturday, I believe. And that's next year for the 10-year anniversary. So it's going to be big bands, I believe. Major bands probably going to be going. Maybe some from the original.
Dave Mustaine wants to get in it.
Dave Mustaine's doing his
mega cruise.
His mega cruise with a bunch of mega boring bands, but like I don't know if I'd want to be on the same boat as Dave.
Why?
Because I have a good friend who had backstage passes to meet him.
Yeah.
And as soon as he walked in, he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" and he right away started talking shit to my buddy, and he was like, "Hey man,
I have my meet and greet."
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh," and then it was just kind of strange. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if I want to be in the same boat, or do you think he'd be?
I would want to meet him.
I would love to meet him. I mean, he's in that situation where he has to talk to you. Was he gonna fucking hide in his cabin for the entirety of the trip?
They want their privacy as well. Like, they don't want to be bugged.
So some of the major like unwritten like rules, I would say, that we were talking about in the forum, the 70K forum. Don't talk to band members when they're eating.
Yeah, let them have their
if they're with
privacy.
their woman and they're checking out a band or whatever, leave them alone. Don't talk to them, dude.
Yeah.
Some of the more common sense things that you would think are common sense, you'd have to the people have to go over that. And so I saw Tony Campos, Tony Campos from Static X, and he's in Soulfly and he's in Brujeria. I think he was in Fear Factory for a little bit.
Yeah.
He might have been in Asesino, and I think he might have played for Brujeria for one album or briefly. I'm not too sure.
You saw him eating dinner?
He was just hanging out with his woman, and they were coming out of a show.
Yeah.
I think they were watching Dark Funeral, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Tony?" I just went like that to him, and he's like, "Hey, what up?" He just like really
he acknowledged you.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Nice to have you." Just to be a dumbass. He's like, he just shook his head at me. And then, like Barney from Napalm.
Yeah.
Dude, from Napalm Death. I saw that fucker everywhere.
Really?
He was everywhere.
He's playing putt-putt?
Yeah. No, hombre, he was in the cafeteria, the Windjammer, eating a lot. And that's where I saw him the most, and just walking around, and he was like, I would just shake my head, and he shook his head at me like, "What's up?" And that's it. I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to bug him.
Should have taken a picture with him.
I didn't want to, dude. I didn't want to. I felt like, I don't know. I didn't want to be in their space. Excuse me. I just didn't want to be in their space because he wasn't alone most of the time.
So he wasn't approachable.
Not as much as I'd like for them to be at that time. I mean, if they were solo, yeah. But they were most of the people I saw were never solo.
There's a band that played in that 70 Tons that I got to meet, but they were really like friendly and approachable. And I took a picture with them last time they came.
Who was it?
Ex Mortis.
Yeah, I fucking missed them, dude. They were playing so fucking late at night.
Well, at 5 a.m. That's how I found out that they were playing that late.
Yeah, they're
and then they played another 7 p.m. show.
Yeah.
But they had like a really good turnout. I didn't even know that band was going to be on that cruise.
Yeah, they're one of the bands. I mean, there were 60. And for me, a good 15, 20, I didn't care for. And after that, it became like, who do I really want to see? Like, who is it that I really want to see? I can tell you right now for sure, except I saw them twice. Fucking chingones. I saw Riot. I saw them twice.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Probably my favorite band of the whole thing. I got to see Bloodbath. Those guys were fucking outstanding. Old school death metal. Nice. But my other favorite, man, they were just excellent live, was Coroner. Coroner, man, kind of like progressive, techie death like metal,
Yeah.
Super awesome. Rage is another great band, but Rage is more of like I think it's like a German traditional metal type band.
Did you buy any merchandise from them?
I did not, because their merch system is really weird. So it's kind of like you go to the butcher, you take a number, and they call your ass to go up. It's the same thing. So you get a number, and then you have to, whenever your number's called, and your number's being placed on TVs and stuff like that. So if you don't have your phone with you, you can check to see what number is on at the TV at that time.
Yeah.
If you need to go. And then, from there, you had to kind of, you could do like, I think they allowed a flyby. So you could check everything out, then you had to write it down on a sheet of paper.
That's too complicated.
It is way too complicated for me.
Just take my money, give me my goddamn shit.
Yeah, they weren't making it very easily. So for me, I didn't go because of that bullshit. I was like, you know what, this is too much. I'll online or whatever. I ain't gonna deal with this bullshit. I did buy, however, 70K t-shirts. Okay. So I bought one from this year, and I bought one from last year, and it gives you the names of the bands, and it gives you the year, whatever. And I bought them both. I bought them both long sleeve because I like they had like a better design than long sleeves.
Yeah,
those are always cool. So the one thing I found myself. A lot of people were asking, "Hey, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from?" And it was, I met so many people, man. Germans, Australians, people from Mexico, people from Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Swedish, Norwegian.
But please tell me you said it proudly where you're from.
Yeah. So of course I'm like, shit, El Paso, Texas, man.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I've heard of El Paso. And it got to the point where, I'm totally right, it got to the point where I'm saying I'm from El Paso, Texas, like a fucking vegan says they're fucking vegan. You know, it comes from out of nowhere sometimes. Oh, hey, I'm vegan, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm from El Paso. I'm from El Paso, Texas, man. I'm from El Paso. Like, it became this, like, running joke, dude. Like, that was just, like, it was so fucking bizarre, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but it was really fucking cool. The one thing that I could tell you for sure was pleasantly surprised. Besides a lot of people speaking English.
Yeah.
The vast majority were speaking Spanish.
Were they speaking it in like in an accent?
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah, where they're from.
Oh, yeah, coño, ya lo que tú quieres.
Yeah. So,
really?
So, yeah, you had Puerto Ricans, you had Cubans. Spaniards, man, from Barcelona, Madrid. There's a lot of Spaniards out there, dude.
Bunch of metalheads over there.
Oh fuck yeah, they're international metalheads. This is like an international. You know how like there's like mobsters and shit, where they have one meeting every year, whatever the fuck. This is like all the international metalheads coming together just to chill. And you know, people from Costa Rica, Colombia, Argentina. There's some from in Mexico. You know, just all over, man.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, just you know, there's a pizza place called Sorrento's. You could eat 24/7. It's open 24/7 if you don't catch the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. I call it the cafeteria, but it's called the Windjammer, and it's like a buffet, right? But I call it cafeteria for lack of a better term, you know. And they're at the pizza place. You just hear all these different languages while you're there because everybody's eating pizza and shit like that, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was pretty rad.
But you mostly hear Spanish?
I heard a lot of Spanish, dude. I mean, a lot of Spanish. And I had talked to... This is my first year.
Yeah.
And there are other people who have gone previous years, and they said that every year you hear more and more Spanish.
We need to have a podcast just in Spanish for our listeners.
That would be interesting. I think they'd probably fucking hate us.
Podcast.
Yeah. El podcast metalero. Yeah.
Ese podcast de metal.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there was a lot of that. I actually got to meet this band, Necrogoblicon. Shout out to you guys. I met the drummer, the guitarist, sound tech, the keyboardist also. We're just chilling. We're just hanging out outside, having a smoke. And I actually didn't know they were in Necrogoblicon.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about music, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a set, super late and blah blah." I'm like, "Who? Which band are you in?" And I was like, cool. "Oh shit, that's badass!" And so I went to go check them out, fucking late, and then I got to buy.
You should have told them to hook you up with some merch.
Nah, I didn't want to. I don't want to pry too much, you know.
Yeah.
I got to hang out with. I had a beer and a conversation with the guitarist for Blood Red Throne. Apparently, he replaced one of those other guitarists that I like. And I didn't know that until he told me, which is really interesting.
So you got a job?
Well, it's because he dropped his drink, right? He had this some mixed drink. He dropped it.
A mojito.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was something like that. I think it was like it wasn't that. It was another name. It was a real fucking with like
a fruity drink.
Pina colada. I think it was a pina colada. So he was there, and he's like all happy because I saw him. I was like getting my beer, and he's like all happy walking to his friends. And then, boom, he fucking drops his drink in the middle. Yeah, we're on top of the ship. We're on the pool deck in the very, very the top.
Yeah.
And he was like, I dropped my drink. He's all like sad, and I'm like, oh, that sucks, dude. And I'm like, dude, what happened? He's like, I don't know. It just slipped out of my hands. It was slippery.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that fucking sucks. He's like, I need to have my drink, man, because then I can't play tonight. And I'm like,
you're so disappointed.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, what band are you in? And he's like, Blood Red Throne. And I was like, no shit, I like that. I like you guys. So I was like, let me buy you a drink. So I bought him.
Did you?
Yeah, I bought him another piña colada. I don't know what he was having. I'm sorry, but it was. Yeah. I think it was a piña colada because it was white and had a cherry. And so we just talked for a bit, and then he went with his homies after that. But it's interesting that you just get to see people. Just everywhere, man. I mean, even if you just are one of those people who just, even if you don't want to go for to watch bands, because there are a lot of people, dude, who didn't even watch bands.
Yeah,
they're just doing their own shit, man. They're just talking to other people. They will check out a couple of sets, and sometimes you're in areas where you had no choice, but music was gonna be there. You know, you were gonna be in the area where music was gonna be playing. So.
But I mean, you're going to the Caribbean.
Yeah. I mean, you're going out there.
How was it?
Yeah, it was beautiful, man. It was a bit cruel. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was warm. It was very warm. It was 80 something. It was 90. Oh, humid as fuck. So I went out there for a little bit. Came back inside. That was just too much for me. I was just like, because I was already hungover as it is. So
how was the food?
So excellent. But I didn't have any from the island, if that's what you're asking. I had only from the buffet and the pizza place. So they had a good variety of everything. They had a good variety. The funniest shit, though, I got to tell you, the funniest thing. Some were divided into like regions of the world, and they had American food.
Yeah.
Hot dogs,
burgers,
hamburgers, and pizza.
That's American?
That's all they had there, dude. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I guess, but what else could they put? You know, steak.
They could put a Philly cheesesteak.
You know, they can put. I don't know what else. Clam chowder.
Clam chowder.
Yeah, you know,
brisket.
Lobster biscuit. What do you call them?
But that's very generic though. Yeah. Like that food sucks.
It was. I know. That's
burgers.
That's how I was laughing. I mean,
hot dogs.
I ended up just eating stuff like, you know, they had like. They had steak and stuff like that, so I was eating that. They had lamb chops. I was eating that.
Oh, nice.
They have for all you vegans and vegetarians. They had vegan and vegetarian like friendly sections, gluten free sections. They had a little bit of everything. So they don't leave anybody out. Everybody's welcome to go if they're thinking, oh man, maybe that might be a deal breaker. No, it's cool. I would think that's fine. And
are you going next year?
You know what? I don't know. I love being on there, and I loved, you know, the experience. But I still need to wait to see if there's any more, like when they start announcing bands later this year.
Yeah.
If it's a concrete, if there's at least 10 or more that I'm like, for sure they're going to be good, then I'll for sure fucking go, dude. Because, to be honest with you, it's a little bit of a hassle just to get out there and come back. You know what I mean? Because you have to fly to fucking Fort Lauderdale. And I stayed a day before, you know, because I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to get there in the beginning because of the government shutdown, and then they opened everything up again. So I felt relieved after that, you know, because TSA workers were like, they didn't give a fuck anymore. You know, they were just like, you know, so I was like, fuck, I don't know if that's going to help or not, you know.
Yeah.
So I went a day earlier, and then this time I got back on Monday. And I wanted to change my flight to Monday instead of Tuesday because I didn't want to stay another day over there. And you start getting like, I want to go home already. You know, I just want to get home. And they were gonna charge me $350 to change my flight to Monday.
Wow.
So Southwest. I mean, I love Southwest. Don't get me wrong, but that sucks, man.
That's expensive.
Because you pay the difference between the flight you got to that other flight.
Yeah.
And the thing is because I got my flight so early, I got it cheaper. And so it worked somehow against me when it came to that. Oh, so that kind of sucked. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I got to hang out with a lot of Germans. We got along very well.
Really?
And yeah, and so we had a crazy night. And what was fucking hilarious is like the beers. So like, you know, if you're drinking a beer, a normal 12-ounce beer. Dos Equis, Bud Light, Budweiser, which I have another story about Bud Light right now.
Yeah.
Those are all $10. That's with gratuity.
For 12 ounce?
For a 12 ounce. Okay.
That's expensive.
So it's nine algo. 9 something. And I think the Corona was the cheapest. It was like 8 something. But that's still 12 ounce. Now, if you're smart, you'll do what probably everybody does. They're getting Fosters.
Yeah.
And those are our big ass 32 ounce can, man. Those are 2.5 beers in each, man. Big fat ass can.
Yeah.
And those are $10. So I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm gonna just be drinking Fosters, dude. It's worth the money. It's 2.5 beers. Instead of just getting one, I'll just get 2.5. Fuck that. So, I was drinking those like they were normal beers, dude.
Really?
I had to change my mindset. This is not 2.5 beers. This is just one beer. Yeah. So I started drinking. I drank a shit ton of those, man, over there. And so I was kicking it with the Germans, and that's all we were drinking and shit. And we had a good time, man. Give them a run for the money, dude. Give them a run for their money, man. Because they're like, the fuck, this the way kid? You could drink a lot, man.
Do they speak English, like, fluently?
Some
of them.
It's like broken, some broken English, but some are really well. Okay. Spoken very well. Enough, and it was enough that you could communicate.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so they made an effort, and we were like exchanging words, like,
yeah,
they're like, how do you say this in Spanish? How do you say that? It was fucking hilarious.
That's cool.
So I taught them how to say chingon.
Oh, did you really?
For everything, yeah.
Chingon.
Yeah. And after a while, they're like, they picked it up right away, and they were like, chingon.
Damn, hell yeah.
It was fucking great, man. So I want, if you guys are listening, Marco, Zerline, you guys are fucking badass, and also let's see, Marco, shout out. Zerline, Lars, también. You guys are all fucking cool, man. So, one of the bands that I saw, I think that was really surprising and amazing was Camelot. Straight up power metal. Grim Reaper were outstanding as always. You know,
I missed them when they came to Las Cruces.
Yeah, Steve could have played or sang with Onslaught.
Yeah,
because they did an album, and they asked him to appear on the song, and he didn't want to. I think he gets a little salty with them guys. But Onslaught was badass, dude.
Okay.
Grim Reaper, they were great.
How was the sound? How did the...
You know what? A lot of people were complaining that the sound sucked, but they're fucking stupid. It sounded outstanding, dude.
Yeah?
I don't know what people are bitching about. It didn't sound good. I don't know where the fuck you're sitting.
So was it indoors or...
Both.
Okay.
There's a pool deck way out top. That's outdoors. Nice big ass fucking stage area, and then the rest were inside. They were like, one was a theater, one was a small like lounge club. That one sucked though. I think that club sucked in terms of the way it was, because it was just like a straight, like the actual floor itself went down into the stage itself, but the amps were piled up on the sides.
Yeah.
And if you were sitting down on the couches area on either side, you couldn't see the stage very well because everybody was standing in the middle and you just couldn't see. And the ceiling from floor to the ceiling was like 8 feet. So you're like really close to the ceiling. So that one didn't really make a lot of sense in terms of why would you even want to have bands there?
It's a huge ship. Like,
yeah, it's a huge ship. But the sound were always good. It's not meant
to be a venue.
Right. But the sound was always good, dude. In other words, I mean, I don't know what the fuck they expect. Other people were bitching about it, and they had gone years.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're expecting. What do you want this to be, like, fucking CD quality, you know, album quality? Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. It's a metal, you're playing loud, you're playing fucking fast, you're playing this music that might not just sound the same. And you know what? These guys, it comes with the territory of a festival. Sometimes festivals are played, sometimes the sound sucks. I didn't get any sound that was bad though. I didn't feel like any of the bands sounded ugly. I think they actually all of them sounded pretty good. Maybe a couple of, maybe somebody had to get their mic raised a little bit or the guitar raised a little bit, but that's not a big deal. And then Paradise Lost, just nothing but just slow headbanging fucking goodness, man. Those guys were so good. Nice. Pestilence, dude.
How was
God
that?
damn it! Those Dutch bastards. This was so good, dude.
Yeah.
Because they're just playing... I saw them twice. They're just so precise. It was just because it's like a little technical, you know? But they're playing so precise. They're just playing everything. And they were like... It reminded me of if there ever is like a... If they were to continue... Let's say if... For whatever reason, if they wanted to continue Death... Mm-hmm. The singer from Pestilence, the guitarist, he could be the singer for
With
Death.
the same name?
He has, yeah. If what for whatever reason, if it ever happened, he could be a natural successor in terms of the voice. Even if it's just a tribute, because there is a tribute. I think it's Death.
I'm not aware.
I forgot the name of the band, but it's ex-members, and they did. It's a Death tribute. I think Death to All. I think that's what it is. But
how do they sound?
I haven't heard them yet. Oh. I think they're going to release an album, DVD, I think. Or they might have already. But this dude, he would be perfect to do that. Okay. Because he sounds just like Chuck. Like, it's eerie, actually. The Black Dahlia Murder, oddly enough, fucking love them. They were so fucking... Yeah, man. Because there's just like super melodic fucking technical death. It was just really fucking... It was just a lot of fun. And it was funny because the Germans all wanted to go up front. And I was like, dude, I want to go to the side and just enjoy it, man. Like,
you're going to get fucked up in the front.
Yeah, I want to drink my beer, dude. Yeah. And no, nobody was bothering me or anything. It was just cool. There was enough people that they would have their own little section where they would do a pit or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I was going to ask, were they moshing?
Oh, there was a lot of moshing.
Stage diving?
Yeah. Well, not stage diving. Like, where they... What do you call them? It's crowd surfing.
Tell me they picked up a guy in a wheelchair.
They did. They did. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, I saw all these people. It was funny, too, because when we were in Napalm, I accidentally got into a fucking pit trying to get my friend, because we're trying to get our friend, because we're like, let's go.
How do you accidentally get into?
Because I was on the edge. I was on the edge, man.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you just get swooped in. And then... I'm like, where's fucking Marco? Like, looking for this way, and just like going around and shit. Man. And then you see him, I'm like, hey, wait, we gotta go, let's go.
But you managed to survive.
Yeah. Actually, I when I was walking like back out of it, somebody pushed me and I fucking slipped. I did a pinche Home Alone, whoop, I fucking fell on my back and shit. Yeah, fell right on my back. But everybody stopped, ran right up to me and fucking picked my ass up and shit. It was quick, dude. They were so fucking. Everybody was super friendly, obviously, but it was super cool. And they just stopped right away and like, hey, are you okay? Okay. And then some dude is like, hey, wait, hey, dude, I cut your beer, man. It's okay. And I'm like, oh, dude, thanks, man. So,
dude, that's crazy. Yeah, you accidentally got into the pit.
Yeah, because I was looking because we're gonna go to another show. Yeah, and because unfortunately that's what happens too. Is like sometimes if you want to get to another show a little early. Get a good spot. You have to like leave the show that you're at. You know.
Oh, okay. So
you don't have to, but I just wanted to get good spots most of the time. So we got to see the vast majority of Napalm. They were really good, man. They're fucking. I mean, obviously, people who love Napalm Death or
they get wet.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, and it was funny because like on one of the shows, I forgot which band we were watching. We were getting ready to leave to another show también, and this is by the pool area. And we're trying to get Marco to come back out because he was in the pit again. And he got mad. And he was like, he went over to the pool area. Yeah. And he told the girls in the pool, because we're like, what are you doing? And they started throwing water at us. Why? Because he told them to throw water at us because he was. And he's like, I'm not done yet. And he went back into the pit. And I was like, oh shit, all right. Yeah. So we were just waiting for him on the side, like, let's go, fool. You know, we got another band to check out. Yeah. So it was pretty fucking funny. But yeah, the vast majority of the people were definitely friendly.
Just a bunch of friendly metalheads everywhere.
And polite. Okay. Polite as fuck. Yeah. Please, thank you. Like, hold the door. Like, really fucking nice, dude.
That's awesome.
So I was like, man, this is great, dude.
You don't want a rude asshole like ruining the experience.
Nah. I didn't see anybody like that, really. I didn't really get an experience. Oh, one guy. I told him, hey, man, you have a cool mustache. He's like, yeah, it's on my face, and?
Oh, what a cocksucker!
I was like, whatever. And that was actually right before that's when I saw Tony Campos walking out of the venue too. So I just kind of like, whatever. I don't care about this guy. It's Tony Campos right there, man. He's fucking midget. He's so tiny.
Yeah.
He's so little, man, with a big ass goatee and shit. He's fucking cool though. But the bucket list bands was God Dethroned. Mm-hmm. God Dethroned. Who else? Riot for sure. Bloodbath. Bloodbath for me were one of the.
Are these bands that would have normally not played here in El Paso?
Bloodbath,
like Sodom, that doesn't have their passports or their visas or whatever.
Bloodbath would never probably hit the U.S. They tried doing a mini tour. I think they had like 5 or 6 dates on that mini North American tour, and it was mostly East Coast. I think they canceled that. And so a lot of the bands now you probably wouldn't have been able to see. And so
you have to go into international waters.
We had to go into the Atlantic Ocean for real
in order to see them.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, there was a lot of good bands. God Dethroned. I don't think I've ever seen them tour.
That sounds like I'm pretty sure they played here. It sounds like a band that I would have heard. Like it sounds very familiar.
Yeah. They've been around for years, man, but they were Metal Blade. Yeah. But no, I don't think they've ever gone around or they've done.
No?
I don't think so. I'll look into it, but I would have jumped on it if I knew. Calma, those guys were fucking great, but also Children of Bottom, Clone.
So besides that other band that you mentioned earlier, was there a band you weren't like a fan of that you became a fan of?
Rage.
Yeah?
Rage. It's like traditional... I want to say it's like traditional metal.
And did they rage on stage?
They were... oh, dude, yeah.
Nice.
The singer is just this kind of stocky, bald dude, older gentleman. It's just a 3-piece, right?
I need to check them out.
Yeah, and then they had a little orchestra in the back, little mini, string section, whatever. And his voice was powerful, but he was charismatic, and it was just so much passion coming out of this guy. He just exuded just passion, dude, metal passion, dude.
Yeah,
you could see it, man, in his voice, and you could see it. You could just hear it. And I was just like, holy fuck. And I wouldn't have seen him if it weren't for the Germans. They're like, hey, man, because Rage is from Germany.
Okay.
So I'm like, these guys are German. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I knew it. So, yeah, they became one of my favorites of the night. I fucking missed Obituary. That's one that I missed. But they come around often. So, I'll check them out whenever the hell I get a chance. Mm-hmm. I do want to say I was telling you earlier, I saw it was Soulfly, but it was they did the entire Roots album, the Bloody Roots and all that shit. They did the entire album. It was really cool. And I think they did a couple of hits also. They did a couple of hits from just Sepultura. And it was awesome.
Dude, I can just imagine the crowd.
Yeah. It was like I think the biggest crowd of the whole night I saw together.
Holy fuck.
They were together. And there was a lot of fucking people there that night. Because it was at night. It was they were all there, man. It was really cool.
What was a perfect spot for like the good bands? Like 9, 10? Yeah. I mean 5 o'clock in the mornings too. Like people are gonna be like passed out by that.
I would say anything past 7 was a really good spot, because man.
What time would the show start? The
11
the bands
11. So there was a good time for you to go take a nap, go mimis, eat, and whatever. There was actually some days where there was nothing going on for me that I didn't want to check any bands out.
Or were you too hungover?
So that was only one day.
Oh,
that was only one day. But I recovered and I went out that night. Besides, like nothing was going on anyways, because we had already landed.
Yeah.
So there was nothing going on until later on that day. So by that time, I had already felt better. I took some anti-anxiety medication.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because it helps with my hangover. And I
didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I went over to Was it like at 10 or something? That's when I checked out God Dethroned and just started my night from there. But I just got nothing but waters. I'm just drinking shitloads of water.
Yeah.
And I stayed up till like 4 that night just watching different bands play. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And it was funny, dude, because there was like this thing where I don't know if it's Metal Injection or Blabbermouth, where they were putting articles up that people were falling asleep.
Oh, okay, yeah. I saw some pictures of people being just shit-faced.
But, okay, now there is other people who have been going to this cruise for a long time. They're like, well, if you fall asleep, I want to draw on your face and blah, 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 like whatever. I'm like, fuck you, dude. That's not fair.
No,
that's not fair.
It's not.
Because, first of all, it's not fair because you do so much walking, you do so many things there, and plus you're drinking or whatever, and maybe you just finished eating, and you just want to take a nap somewhere. There's a difference between being shit-faced and passing out somewhere and just being tired.
Don't pass out because there's going to be a big cog drawn on your forehead.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I heard. So what's fucking crazy is that if you go to the theater or even the lounge, the Star Lounge, dude, the seats are so comfortable.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, man. I was straight up. I was like drinking beer and and like nodding off, and I was like, "What the fuck?" The music's so loud, and you're like thinking, "How am I gonna fall asleep?"
People were like falling asleep on, like they're napping there.
No, there was just those ones that they caught. Those guys were shit faced.
Yeah,
they were taking pictures of them. They were taking pictures of them, whatever, and they were just so tired. They just fall asleep, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens. I mean, it's just one of those things where you're walking around so much that you're bound to fall asleep somewhere, and it's not because you're shit faced. It's just because you're tired, dude. Or it's just really comfortable. Like I'm telling you, the seats in the theater and the seats in the Star Lounge, they're
especially if you go swimming, dude. It tires.
Oh, dude,
the fuck out
that's single-handedly one of the things that'll
you
tire
really
you out
tired
easily.
Yeah,
you just feel it. But you know, I never. I would nod off here and there, but because the seats were so comfy.
Yeah,
and you're in your element.
Yeah,
listening to metal. And some people are like, how can you fall asleep to that? It's actually really easy. Mm-hmm. You can fall asleep to metal pretty easily. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're going to fall asleep, you're going to fall asleep. But it lulled me to sleep, I would say. But I would just like fucking...
You're nodding like, oh.
Yeah. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to... I would just like...
crash out.
Yeah. But I would wake up. You walk to the next...
You're on a cruise. I mean, you are supposed to like, I don't know, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like... There are no rules at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to take a nap here, because I think that's the key. What I would do is, between bands, eat some pizza, go get some beer.
Power nap?
And then
would you power nap it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise there's no way of like being able to stay up like the whole night.
Yeah, because there were a couple of hours here and there, everywhere, that there's a couple of bands I don't really care to see.
Yeah.
Or nothing's really going on. Go back to the room and just sleep for a little bit and then get back out. Again, get some more of that pizza. And
pizza?
It's all right. I mean, it's not the best pizza.
Yeah.
But it's like
Hot Pockets or
no, they're like real pizzas, you know. They reminded me of like you know, if you were to get like frozen pizza, you know.
Yeah.
And they just made mass quantities of that shit, you know what I mean? So it was like frozen pizzas. You know, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best either.
But it's still pizza.
It was still pizza, man. It was free. You know, you eat it whenever you want, and they won't tell you shit. You know.
Yeah.
And so it was good. They had like a lot of different water stands, like water with like kiwi or water with
cucumber water.
Yeah, they had stuff like that. Cucumber water. I think they had strawberry water, and then they had just normal water. And then up there in the cafeteria, they had the Windjammer. They had like lemonade and stuff like that.
Nice.
So it was quite an experience, and that's why I'm saying like, is it really worth it? I think absolutely, it's really fucking worth it. What you pay for it depends on the cabin you get. Could range between, I would say, $1,200 to $1,600, depending on what area of the ship.
Are the rooms comfortable?
Yeah, I mean it's like a normal small hotel room.
Yeah,
you know, if you get a room with 2 small beds and a pull-out couch, it's 4 people can sleep in there perfectly. And besides that, not everyone's going to be there all the time. And it's just everybody does their own shit, you know, just go around. I would say that if you're gonna go with somebody, it's a lot more difficult coordinating with other people because there's no communication. Your phone doesn't work out there. Okay. Unless you get Wi-Fi, and then you can talk to each other through Messenger on Facebook or whatever the fuck. But there's no absolute way to communicate. So
just put a tie on your doorknob or a sock.
Hey, I'm gonna be here. I was thinking. For real. I was thinking.
I'm gonna be fucking. So put a sock on the doorknob.
I was thinking that's like the international. Like I think the.
You would think, but maybe the Germans don't know that.
Yeah, well, maybe they put a boot. Das Boot. I don't know, but it's funny because I said maybe like next time just get like walkie-talkies, you know, and communicate with walkie-talkies and shit like that, you know, and. I mean, yeah. Well, if you're at a fucking show, we can't hear anything, but who gives a fuck? At least to say, hey, let's go over here, let's go over there, and or hey, where are you? You know, can you hear me? Or whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's ways of communicating. But I mean, if you're gonna buy Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is I think $20 a day or for.
It's expensive.
It's $20 a day for everything, like for fast speed, which is like really slow.
Dude, but it worked. That cruise is perfect to like unplug from like any social media.
Absolutely, dude. That's how I felt, man.
Yeah.
Like, I just
so you can fully engage with like the bands instead of like filming it.
Well, I was taking a lot of pictures. I took a lot of different pictures, and then I ended up just from hundreds of pictures, I reduced it down to like 60 or 70 that I liked that I could use. And I put them all on Facebook, put an album on there. I just didn't want to put all the pictures out. Yeah. I deleted a lot of videos because some sounded like shit. And I just deleted those. And I kept a few.
If you're too close to the stage, it really sounds like overly saturated.
Well, you know what ended up happening was the my normal camera, the one that I have like a...
Are you allowed to record?
Yeah. So I have a Canon camera. I forgot what model it is, but to take pictures, it's awesome. But the audio for video sucks ass. So when I was using my iPhone for recording video, man, it sounded amazing. Yeah. So I was like, man, the videos that I shouldn't have taken it with those. I should have just taken it with this phone, and it would have sounded way better. So I kind of fucked up there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean. If you guys are considering it, I would definitely consider $70K. It's you get to meet all kinds of people from all parts of the world.
It looks like you had fun and you heard a bunch of bands,
dude,
and got into some new bands.
Yeah, exactly.
And met some people.
Yeah, it was quite an experience, you know. And if you're gonna go alone, go alone. That's probably the best, dude. Yeah, because you're not gonna be alone. You're gonna be with the metal family, regardless of and you're gonna meet a lot of different people, and that's to me. And you do whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want, without having to, I need to wait for this person or whatever. Fuck that, That's for me being a lone wolf. It works very well. Yeah, because of that. Like, I'm gonna check this band out. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna miss the last 2 songs. I'm gonna go check out this other set, and you don't have to worry about anybody. Like, I want to check it out. I want to finish it, and like, fuck. You know what I mean? So it kind of works out both ways too. Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, if you guys considering it, check it out. I know for sure now I want to check out other festivals. I do want to check out Maryland Death Fest. I want to check out. I think I'm not sure if they're gonna have another Prog Power USA, but there's just like Hellfest in France for sure. I want to check that out.
They have all the badass festivals in Europe.
Yeah, they do, man. I want to do the Wacken Festival, but I've been hearing just not bad stories about Wacken, but stories like, that it gets muddy. It just gets kind of...
and by mud, we mean like there's portable toilets outside. Yeah. Like piss mud. Yeah. And shit mud.
Yeah, it becomes kind of like pretty gross after a while. And so I'm like...
It's a health hazard.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, like, if as much as I fucking love metal... Yeah. If I want to do that, man, because by now they've been doing it for like 10 or 15 years. They should have already organized their shit, bought land, made plumbing, and do all that shit. And because people camp out there, they just go and they camp. That's cool. But I'm not sure if I want to speed.
If you want to go through all that work to see a few bands.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. And then, there's stuff around here, in the U.S., there's a lot of different ones. Or in Canada, también. There's a lot of different, bands, festivals that I could check out. Yeah. Maryland Death Festival. There's a bunch of different ones. So I don't have to just be international. I can just stay here in the States.
Dude, but you have to experience the, a festival like that to its fullest. Mm-hmm. You have to get in shitty situations and experience the shit mud.
Sometimes quite literally a shitty experience, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think that's part of it.
It happened in Woodstock, like the original one.
Oh yeah, a lot of people.
There's footage of that.
Yeah, a lot of people died from all kinds of shit there.
Did they?
Yeah, man. I was actually watching.
I heard some babies were born there too.
Oh yeah, a lot of babies were made. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was a lot of shit happening out there, and people left their cars in the freeway and shit, and they just abandoned their cars and just went to They went to Woodstock, So, but yeah, then there was no water. There was nothing to eat. There. So it was like a fucking free-for-all. But, drug frenzied.
But they got to see a lot of cool bands.
Oh,
a bunch of awesome bands.
Yeah, they did. See, so, I'm not sure if that's a tradition that should keep going of just, very poor.
They made a 30th anniversary.
Yeah, they did, huh?
Woodstock. And I think it was horrible.
Yeah. I think there was,
That's when Kid Rock was, big and...
Yeah.
Fred Durst.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Korn.
Yeah. Did Metallica play? I
think they did.
I think Rage Against the Machine. I don't think so.
Chili Peppers. Yeah, Chili
maybe?
Peppers for sure played.
Yeah. I remember seeing footage of that, and I think Metallica did play.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think that was when. I don't know.
That was the beginning, or no? It wasn't the beginning of the new metal.
It was probably right in the middle of it. It was right in the middle. It was funny because I was thinking about that, how that was the end of, rock and metal being front in radio stations or in on MTV.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Because Britney Spears started coming out, Christina Aguilera, the Backstreet Boys, and Sing, 98 Degrees. All these guys started to come out. And, that's what became the norm. And everything else that was remotely heavy or just rock, they're just like, nope, you guys,
we don't want it.
We're not playing anymore. And ever since then,
bye.
Yeah, exactly. Bye. Yeah, ever since then, dude, everything changed, and so now everybody became fucking even more outcasts. You know what I mean? So it was interesting to me that finally there's. All these metalheads and everybody.
Hey, but metal came back though.
Exactly, they kept it together, dude.
Yeah,
they kept it together, and it's always gonna be there. And I actually overheard a lady at 70K in the. She was an older woman. She could have been, maybe in her 50s.
Yeah,
and she was talking with this younger girl, maybe her daughter. I don't know. And she was like, "It's really awesome to see younger people, especially millennials, keeping the metal spirit alive." And
you're right,
to just keeping it. And I was thinking that's really true, man. As the younger people are always going to keep metal alive, and as long as, but it's insane that there right now all the bands that are, I think for me, that are the go-to bands are the veteran bands.
Yeah, for sure.
Megadeth, I can't wait for their new album to come out. It's going to come out sometime this year.
Warheads on Foreheads.
Así se llama?
I think so. It might be that one. And it's the compilation album.
Oh yeah, it is. They are going to release one because remember they said a date. They said a date. Remember?
Yeah.
And they're like announcement. That's what it was. It's another greatest hits. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's going to be
another repackaged, remastered.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll get it because it's all in one. I don't have to search album to album and shit.
True.
If it's a real thorough.
No, I've seen that. No, it's solid. It's solid.
If it's a thorough greatest hits, I'm down.
Yeah, it is.
And then recently Judas Priest, Firepower, fucking amazing album, dude.
Yeah,
my favorite since Angel Retribution and Painkiller, dude.
Yeah,
excellent albums, but Firepower brought the power, man. They really did. So yeah, I feel like I have to depend on a lot of like the old school bands to keep everything going. They kind of like they set the standard, and these other bands have to kind of like try to top that. You know what I mean? But again, I don't want to be like Eddie Trunk and just talk about those old bands.
Yeah.
But
he gets wet talking about like what's one of his favorite
Triumph. Bands? He loves Rush.
He gets his dick hard, dude.
Yeah, he loves talking about all that stuff. And I mean, it's cool. I mean, like, yeah, he knows what he knows. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He is knowledgeable. And again, I don't want to.
I follow him, and people talk shit on his haircut.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Out of everything, like, dude, that's bullying. Come on,
no shit.
Yeah,
I don't want to shit on him too much entirely, but I think he just needs to, like, I think he's those guys that it's the guys right now that are in the 40s and 50s who are like, yeah, those were in the golden days. Those were the golden days.
Yeah.
80s, and that's it. They don't listen to anything. Oh, you listen to stuff with double bass. That's too heavy for me.
Yeah.
Back in my day, and...
Hey, at least it's not bro metal.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking true, man. That's true. Oh. Mastodon sucks. Just gotta get that out there. But, no, yeah, you're right. I mean, but again, I thought about this too. I think I'd rather listen to pop music than bro metal and what is it? Like hard
I was listening
metalcore,
to metalcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd rather listen to pop music than that bullshit, dude. You know what? Because those other ones are just I don't know. It's so juvenile.
Yeah. I listen to music. I just listened to this band from I think they came out with like a huge hit in 1999. Like 20 years ago. So this band, I was like, it came out randomly on YouTube, and then I just remembered, like, dude, this was like 90s.
Yeah.
And even if it was like I don't know, shitty music, it's still like anything that, I mean, it's still better than anything being released right now.
Okay.
But times change, David. Like,
Have you ever gone back and listened to music that, like maybe you're reorganizing your CDs or something, and you find some CDs and like, oh shit, I haven't heard this in a long time, and you bought it when you were younger, or listened to it when you were younger. And have you ever listened to stuff again as an adult, like older, more knowledgeable, and you're like, damn, what was I thinking? This sucks.
Yeah, seriously, hell yeah, like,
isn't that funny?
What was I thinking?
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty funny, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a phase. We might grow out of it at times, but that's how we get into music. You have to go through, I guess, shitty bands in order for you to like recognize, like, wow, dude. Like,
do you think maybe trial and error?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's a good term, right? Because I think you're right, man. Because and that's another thing. That's why I call like let's say Cannibal Corpse. While they're very talented. The drummer is amazing. He's fucking crazy fast. And it takes a lot of skill and dexterity and strength to play what they play. But at the end of the day, to me, that's kindergarten metal. To me, that's like beginner shit in terms of what people...
They have seniority.
But in terms of if you're going to introduce people to certain genres of music, I would say, those are certain beginner bands I think that they should check out right away. So for example, if there's a person who's not maybe too familiar with metal and they want to get into it and they want to check out a little bit of everything, you would be like, all right, well, check out Slipknot, check out Metallica, check out Megadeth, check out Cannibal, check out these bands, and then you could give them a sense of like there's different styles of everywhere coming, and then they could kind of from there, they can decide. Personally, for me, I like listening to everything, so I'm not like pigeonholed into one genre. I can't do that. So I don't know. I kind of feel like Cannibal is that sort of band that's like a beginner band, even though they're beloved and everybody digs them everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's a band like I'm telling you. It has seniority.
Yeah.
They've been playing for a while.
Yeah.
And they're still releasing albums.
Right.
And they're still touring.
No. And that's what I'm saying. They're badass. But if you're going to tell somebody who's like, hey, man, I want to get into death metal, who should I check out? Well, I'll be like, oh, we want to check out... I'm not going to tell them death because that might be too complicated for them.
Yeah.
You know, that might be a little too complex just because after a while they get a little technical and stuff and sorts.
So what band would you recommend?
I would say probably Cannibal, Obituary, and then Deicide. I would probably say those three. And I think are they all Florida?
Those are all Death Metal 101.
Well, yeah. Cannibal's from New York, but definitely, yeah, you're right. Like a little bit of, and even though those three are death metal, they're three totally different styles of death metal in terms of one plays super fucking fast, one's groovy and chunky, you know, like Obituary, and then Cannibal's just fucking blasting all over your face, dude. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you get a little of, you know, anti-Christian, you know, with Deicide, with Glenn and his stupid cross on his face and shit, you know, and a little upside down cross, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And, like, he's just, you know, over the top asshole. You know, I'm pretty sure he's not really like that, but a lot of people don't like him either, so maybe he is a dick.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But he's got a voice, man.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking way of barking shit out, and he sounds fucking crazy, man. And actually, to talk about that, there's a band from Florida who asked us if we could play a song on the podcast, which we will play, but at the very end of the podcast. They're called Rotted Remains. The name of the song is called The Butcher, and that one very much reminded me of Deicide. Okay. And one's... So, and oddly enough, they're from Florida too, so I think that's pretty cool. And so yeah, I've kind of gone all over the place.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring it back local. I want to bring it back to something local and some sort of like important news that kind of hit that I think is significant in a couple of ways. We're losing a venue. I
got upset when I heard this.
Yeah.
When was this, on Tuesday?
This last week, yeah.
But I mean, this. I mean, I don't want to jump too ahead, but this venue had been closed since October. Yeah. But I heard about like the news and who bought it, and it just made me upset.
Yeah. So we want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah. I wanted to make this like a post on my personal like Facebook page, but because this is a matter about, I don't know if it's religion or... I don't want to bash religion or faith nor Christianity.
Yeah.
But there's this pastor locally named Charles Neiman. Mm-hmm. And this guy bought the Tricky Falls venue. And it bothers me because, I mean, I don't have the quote, but he said something along the way that he... What was he saying, David? What did he say? That there was ungodly things going on there? Do you have the quote?
So he says, quote, "What was once an ungodly place and was used as a bar and things like that, we will be able to turn it into a church." Unquote.
So...
Ungodly.
Yeah, ungodly. Yeah. I'm taking it very personal. I saw a bunch of bands back there, David.
Yeah.
I have a couple of ticket stubs right here, dude. Yeah. Back then, I saw that like this place, Tricky Falls, is it used to be a theater, right, in El Paso Street. Mm-hmm. And I have a ticket stub from back when it used to be called Club Escape.
Oh, that's right.
With King Diamond, dude.
No shit.
Nile, Black Dahlia Murder, and Behemoth.
Nice, dude.
You know? Yeah. I got to see Destruction there.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is where I got introduced to this band, Lex Mortis.
Right.
I saw Sacred Reich, the 30 Years of Ignorance tour.
Hell yeah, those are badass.
I saw Creator there.
Yeah.
I saw Obituary Exodus at the Battle of the Bass American Tour 2017.
Nice.
I saw Death Angel there with Children of Bodom. The 25th anniversary of Danzig. And another Creator. I met Meliak. That was the last time I went to Tricky Falls, actually, on Halloween of 2017. And I mean, it's hard for a venue to be open for that long.
Yeah.
But this is what bothers me, David. Like all these bands that I mentioned, like where are we going to be having them now, from now on? If you think about it, like where?
Yeah.
Tricky Falls was a venue. Like it was a venue. It has a bar, and it was meant for having live music. And this guy's saying that it was ungodly things were going on there.
Yeah,
that sucks, dude. Like. I thought about it, like, where are these bands going to play? They have a capacity of up to 1,000 people, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't have anything remotely, we don't have anything that'll, that we can have here locally that can have a venue in that, like, that size.
That size, yeah.
We have the Rock House. Have you been there?
Yeah.
It's a small venue, right? It's a bar. It's a bar. It's not a venue. It's a bar.
It's a bar.
So that can hold, 100 people at the most?
A couple.
And then we have the Black Market. That was it the Black Market or the Lowbrow Palace?
Yeah, Lowbrow.
That's shutting down, I think, as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of places that are just not making enough money for whatever reason, and they're having to shut down. And I don't know. I mean, obviously the Rock House right now, but that's small potatoes. You want something mid-range, a mid-range venue,
right?
Because with these other bands that are coming through, they're not going to fill up the Coliseum.
They're not. The Coliseum's 5,000.
Yeah, you're not going to fill that up. You know. So
Don Haskins is 10,000.
Yeah, you straight up need a mid-range venue, which now is pretty much non-existent.
We don't have one,
as far as I could see.
We don't have one. We have little, and then we have rinky-dinkier bars for like the local musicians that are even way smaller. Yeah. So we don't have a venue, and this Tricky Falls is not. I mean, it doesn't look like a church to me.
No,
it doesn't. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, this Pastor Neiman has the city. What is it? I think it's called the city. She must be like the city attorney from El Paso, and they got this venue for I think it was $145,000 if I'm not mistaken, which is chump change if you think about it, because these dudes have money from all the offerings from all the sheep, the blind sheep.
Yeah.
All that money is not. It's not taxed. Mm-mm. So it's horrible.
Chump change.
Yeah, it's literally chump change from like he has a church in the west side, one on the east side,
up the street,
and now he has Tricky Falls.
Yeah,
you know he's gonna be doing something good for the community, but where are we holding any type of band at this at this caliber?
Yeah, I think in terms of that, I mean it is a significant thing. I mean, what the fuck else is there? You know, any other place, you know, and as it is, bands already skipped El Paso a lot of times.
Yeah.
As it is already.
Yeah, you're right.
So, con más ganas, I mean, even more it's going to happen. People are just going to be passing through now.
El Paso, because they pass through.
Yeah, man.
I mean, 4 hours away. Like, so there's Albuquerque.
Yeah.
There's Chihuahua. There's Midland, Odessa. And we're in a weird spot.
Yeah. I mean, this would be, I think, if you're smart and if you know how to maybe think about it, this is a prime spot, dude, for making money, for getting a good fucking venue for bands that are passing through. Because the vast majority of the bands that are passed through the Southwest, they pass through El Paso, go to Austin, go to Lubbock, go to Odessa, go to Dallas, go to Houston. They all pass through here, go pass through fucking I-10.
Yeah.
And if you have them go across Texas, west, they're going to pass through El Paso, Las Cruces, Albuquerque, or they're going to go to Phoenix or whatever. They're going to pass through here, man. It's a major route, dude. So there has to be a way of opening up a venue and making it successful.
Yeah.
You know? And unfortunately, I don't know what it is. If it's just maybe there's a reputation that bands are like, we're not going to pass through there. I don't know what it is, man. Oftentimes, I can tell you this, that people buy tickets the day at the door.
Oh, I've heard of that. We have a culture here that we buy them last minute.
Yes, they will go on the day of.
Yeah.
And some bands end up canceling because they're like, oh shit, we don't have enough sales.
Yeah.
It's not even worth it. So, you know, you can see both. I can see both ways of why that sucks, you know. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's going to have to be something where metalheads unite and make something happen and make some sort of venue. I mean, I don't know if, you know...
The guy that was running this place was Jim Ward. Yeah. And he was running this place for, like, quite a few years, but you do have to have someone to book all these bands, like you're saying, because I know that the Lowbrow was... They had bands that were passing through before hitting the South by Southwest.
Yeah. That's right. Which is coming up. It's coming up in about a month. But you know what's interesting is, like, he was renting out the place, Jim Ward. Yeah. He didn't own it.
He must have not owned it.
So this past year, straight up.
Yeah, with chump change.
Yeah, just straight up. Yeah. And this is my place now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the city, I mean, we that live here know how the city's, like, there's a boom going on downtown. Yeah. You know, so all those places are, like, very sought after. They want those places because of the downtown... arena that we're hopefully building.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that
they're getting all these incentives.
Unfortunately, there's also this like sense of people want to keep El Paso the same.
They have that mentality.
They're not wanting to.
That's why progress. We're 20 years behind.
Yeah, exactly. They're not willing to progress or change in terms of, you know, they want to keep everything still old school, and I think that kind of sucks because like. A prime example of, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, the prime example of that, and it could have also been licensing and whatnot. Yeah. But the main example that I see were food trucks. Before food trucks were really big now, you saw the same old food trucks.
Like the taco trucks?
In the corners. That's all it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was all that. It was just tacos and elote. Tacos and elote. Tacos and elote. Burros. And that's all. And that's it. That's it. That's all it was. Yeah. You go down Alameda. Go down Dyer. It's all tacos, Mexican food down the line, right? Everywhere. And now when they started saying, hey, well, now you can get a license for your food truck. Yeah. You don't have to belong to a restaurant, a legitimate restaurant. You can actually have your own food truck straight up. So then, man, you have a sushi truck, you get cupcake trucks.
There was this place that made it pretty big, and they started selling noodles.
Yeah. The ramen noodle guys. Yeah. Yeah, man, they have their own place down. I think it was like
I haven't checked it out.
Down there on Mesa, and there's a lot of places right now. They have a barbecue truck. You know, we have all kinds of fucking foods. Yeah, that you know people don't need to just be like, oh, this is all I want. But it took a long time for that shit to happen, dude.
I guess we're so used to having Mexican food. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's only what we're used to, like, eating here locally. Yeah. We need something different. Yeah. We needed something different.
And you know what came that I think was one of the restaurants that I think really was important was a German pub. The German pub was very important, I think, because not only are they introducing German beers, they're introducing German food.
I tried sauerkraut there. Yeah. No, pretzel, dude. Yeah. It was very good.
Yeah, that was the fucking...
And the beer.
Yeah, they're excellent.
I'm pretty sure this place got, like... There must have been someone, like, in the military, like, ex-military.
Yeah, I think it was from when the Air Force was here.
Yeah, they were in White Sands.
Yeah, but remember, a lot of Germans were stationed here in the Air Force. Yeah. And you know how they would always have Oktoberfest on base?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so they stopped doing it on base. And I think this guy decided just to take up the German pub and just to do that. But I think it could have been just an extension of that. I'm not too sure if he was military or not. And then
your German friends would love it there.
They would probably love it there. Yeah, and they would probably tell me, "No, this is not." You know, if yes or no. But I think they would love the beer there
for sure
because they have awesome beer. And then they have the boot. They have das Boot. Yeah, I like this one.
That's a liter.
Not like this one.
That's a little one. That's a little boot.
This is a little boot. This is like a little appetizer boot.
Yeah, it's a 12-ounce boot.
Yeah, it's a 12-ounce.
That's a baby boot.
Yeah, that's a baby boot. It's like, but yeah, they have. I think they were one of the good restaurants out there. Yeah, and they're not the only ones. I think there's like on the northeast. I'm not sure what it's called. Gunther's. I forgot what it's called. No, that's the old place that used to be open by the freeway. I think it's Peter's. I think it's Peter's Grill or Peter's something, and that's another German. And I think there's a bakery or maybe the same thing.
A German bakery?
Mm. Yeah, but it could have closed down. But it's all. I know they're on the northeast.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, honestly, there's no need for me to go out there. Like I don't travel out there.
Yeah.
So I'll just hit up the German pub. But that whole idea of resistance to change,
mm-hmm.
this whole resistance to me is not okay because, you want your city to grow, you want it to progress, you want it to get better. And, there's people who have that child mentality of...
They don't want what district are they tearing down? Is it it's not the Chihuahuita, right? Like there's a certain district downtown that they're trying to... People are like...
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
Union Plaza.
Is that area?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's because to me...
People want to preserve buildings that are like...
I mean, look. It's like when I tell everybody, if you get a little kid who has a toy that's an old-ass toy that they don't play with anymore, and then suddenly somebody new comes... And they're like, oh, I like that toy. I'm going to play with that old toy.
That's the mentality here.
And everybody's like, no, that's my toy. Don't touch my toy anymore.
Yeah.
But these people, they don't want to maintain the area. They don't want to take care of it. Or all they want is, they talk, but they don't do shit. And that's unfortunately what happens. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't think,
had we have like a bigger arena... that would have been well suited. I don't think we would have gone fucked over like with the scalpers with Metallica because 10,000 people is not a lot, David.
Right.
Albuquerque has the Isleta Amphitheater, and they have a seating for, I believe it's 25,000.
Yeah, that's amazing there. Amazing there, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think it's something to think about, guys, that, where we're going to start watching our metal shows. For sure, I know I'm leaving to Albuquerque to catch a couple of bands out there. And I'm going to go to Lubbock to watch Metallica. I got my ticket for Albuquerque.
When is that?
For Lubbock. So they come here, I think, on a Thursday. This month? March 3rd. Oh. Let me see. March 2nd. So they're gonna be here on the 28th.
28th.
Yeah. So I'll see them in Lubbock on the 2nd on a Saturday. Make a little morning day trip out there. Come back Sunday. Yeah. Should be nice. And that should be good. I mean, are they gonna have a support band?
I'm not sure.
They haven't said anything.
They haven't.
And I think they've already started the tour.
It's probably going to be like a comedian. I heard there was a comedian doing
Jim Brewer.
I think he was doing like a stand-up.
He used to be funny when I was younger, dude, but he's a fucking idiot now, man.
Is he?
He's stupid because he does all that, like, he does a lot of AC/DC. Like,
he does an amazing Brian Johnson.
Yeah, he does, but that's all, I mean...
They should have just replaced Brian Johnson with that guy.
He had his own...
He sounds exactly like him.
He had a band, too, no?
Did he?
Jim Brewer?
I'm not sure.
It was him and Brian Posehn. The big nerd, geeky.
I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that came out from that movie. Because I know him from that movie with Dave Chappelle. When they're stoners. That's how I know him.
Half-Baked. Yeah, yeah. No, Jim Brewer. I've seen his comedy and stuff like that, and this is like right after Half-Baked too. When I saw.
But that's crazy for like an opening act.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
I feel like they're not trying, but I think that's okay with me. It's not a big deal. Because then you get like 2.5, 3 hours of Metallica. And that's cool.
Really?
If it's just him, you get more, they get more time. And, they haven't toured in a long time, like, as terms of, like, a legitimate tour like this. They haven't done that in quite a while because they're used to doing big festivals and select venues and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to probably put a lot of into it, like, where they play a lot of music. And the one thing that I do like is that when they play live, because I have something Quebec Magnetic.
Yeah.
And a lot of old songs sound really good. Like shit from Load and Reload or shit like from...
have you checked out the set list they're going to be doing?
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. But I feel like with Metallica, I don't need to see a set list anyways.
No?
Like, you know, they're just going to play songs like that you know already. You know what I mean? So what's the point?
You never know. They might just end up doing like the newer albums.
I highly doubt it. I think they're going to be fair about it. Maybe 4 or 5 new songs and sprinkle everything else in between, you know? I think that's kind of... Because they've always done that. I've noticed that they're fair about how they play songs.
They're going to have Enter Sandman.
Fuck that song, dude. They better not play that, dude.
They're going to have it.
That's going to be my piss song. I'm going to go piss or get a beer or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because I hate that. I mean, it's not that I hate it, because it's actually a really well-written song. Like, it's a perfect example of how to write a good song.
Yeah.
But it's just overplayed, you know? I mean, if they play, I hope they play a Wulf-Man. If they're going to play anything from the Black Album. I don't want to hear Unforgiven. I really don't want to hear that. Wherever I May Roam, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I don't know. But, I mean, ultimately, I really want to hear something from And Justice for All, because that's my favorite album.
Oh, dude, they're super heavy.
Yeah.
Amazingly heavy with that album.
That was the last time, I think. That was the last
time Lars was heavy.
Yeah. Bye, right?
Bye, for reals.
And then, you know, they had that producer, was it Magnuson? I forgot what his name is.
But you still can't hear the bass. I mean...
Dude, you didn't have to, man. It's still heavy, dude. And...
They should have had they should release a new version. Not a remastered... But like an added bass.
They had, what was it, the 25th anniversary or 30th anniversary of it? Last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be with bass, whatever. Nah.
No, they never released it with bass.
Nah, they're not going to. I mean, Lars is a little bitch. That was a very petty thing to do, I think.
Yeah.
And I can't believe the sound tech, the guy doing the knobs. I mean, he straight up said it was Lars, right?
Yeah.
But I can't believe that he did it, that he did it himself. I would have walked out the room and said, I'm not going to do it, and just quit. You know, because that's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it, dude.
It was his way. It was always his way.
Yeah, it was shady. It's shady, dude. It's shady. And you know what? It's funny. From everybody, he's the one that's replaceable like that, dude.
Yeah.
Lars, come on. Have you seen his drum set? It's
not recently.
This way, he's got 2 toms, a snare and a bass drum, a floor. What do you call it? Floor tom.
Yeah.
And the bass drum and a couple cymbals.
So it's very basic.
It's like one of those first act kits.
Yeah.
Fucking basic as fuck, dude. He's a basic bitch right now. Like, that's all he does. Is like, I'm surprised. And when you hear Justice for All, that sounds like a very
but I mean, you have to
set.
take into consideration like his age, I guess. You know, because I think that's where he peaked.
Yeah.
And Justice for All, because it's incredibly.
But what happened with the Black Album? What was ultimately what made them kind of dial it back a little bit, hone in on certain writing? And in Bob Rock, I mean, I think he had a lot to do with it, obviously.
The Black Album was more to make him a household name. That's why, that's what I think.
Yeah. I know, it was a good album. Solid production. Solid, it sounds amazing.
It still holds.
Yeah. It sounds, I always say that it's one of those albums that you put on a shitty CD player and it makes it sound really good still.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds pretty good still. So, I don't know. I mean, I kind of, it's not the direction they should have been going, I think. I mean, if you think about it, they should have written a couple more heavy albums. And then, when the Load and Reload thing came out, that's when they should have done the Black Album. And then they could have just, you know... I feel like they coasted, in other words. They're riding their own coattails at that point after that. They just didn't try anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, they did that Load and Reload, and then didn't they do the covers?
Mm-hmm. Garage Inc.
Which
was a lot of fun. I liked it a lot, actually. That was 98, I think. That was a lot of fun. You know? And you could tell when you listen to it, they were deliberately not being heavy.
Yeah.
Because when you heard Garage Inc., there was a lot of heavy songs on their covers. They made it really heavy.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cabrón, pues, are these guys just not trying, or they're not trying to be heavy because they're trying to be edgy, or what are they doing? You know, it's a little weird what they were doing. But then Saint Anger came out, and you're like, oh Jesus, maybe go back. Let's go back to load and reload.
Yeah, for reals,
right?
It has like maybe a song, and even then, like, what was that? Like 2003, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing like another podcast where you and Fabian were discussing it. Like, I was like, nah, it's a shit album.
Yeah, it does make you appreciate Load and Reload more.
Yeah,
because it's just.
But like bad. Sometimes they like doing shitty albums. Like they came out with like Lulu or
Lulu. That was a side project, huh? That was a side project. I don't know. I mean, like I heard some of James his country stuff. It's not bad at all, man. But because his voice is good.
It's suited for that, huh?
Yeah, he's got an excellent country voice, man. So he's got a good knack for that. I don't know, man. It sounded pretty good to me. But again, that's why I could see why Dave Mustaine has hired guns for everything else, man.
Yeah, it's
just him and the other Dave. And they just swap out everybody every once in a while. Like, new blood, new music. And it rejuvenates them, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you've never had an album where they stagnated, maybe other than Risk or whatever, but it doesn't sound really shitty. I think in terms of crap albums, I think Metallica has more crap albums
than
Megadeth.
Megadeth? Yeah.
I think by now.
I'm glad that he got kicked out of that band, because we would have never have had Megadeth albums.
Yeah, I know. There's a thrash documentary. As it Get Thrashed, I think, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to seem super arrogant or whatever, but I have affected 3 bands. And he was saying, because he taught Kerry King how to play.
Yeah, he was a part of.
Right?
Or no, Kerry King was a part of Megadeth.
Yeah,
right?
For a little bit, right? Like maybe practice with them or whatever. And that he taught him how to play, and you know, Metallica, he made them, and then he did Megadeth. But what's funny is when you listen to, for me, is I think my favorite, or I think the best Slayer album is Show No Mercy.
Yeah,
you hear those guitar riffs that are not like Slayer riffs.
Yeah,
they sound like straight up traditional heavy metal. With Tom Araya's crazy-ass voice. That was badass to me.
Yeah.
And then, once they did Rain in Blood or whatever, that's when they became Slayer, you know. They had that typical Slayer sound. And after that, I was like, okay.
They dropped it from Dragon Slayer.
Yeah. After that, it was okay. It was still okay. Season of the Abyss.
Yeah.
Okay. But then you start noticing, oh shit. Slayer, it's like, that sounds just like them. You know, they were doing like almost like a Motorhead type thing where they sound the same, but there's a lot.
Doesn't that give them their signature? Like,
yes, no, exactly. But once they sounded like Slayer, I was like, oh man, I like Show No Mercy, dude. And but that's what I like. But don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good songs. They have a lot of cool songs. It's just that I prefer to like, I'd rather just make a playlist of the songs that I like from them, and but like it's just one of those things where. He was trying not to sound arrogant, and he's like, he affected those 3 bands or whatever. And Dave did.
And he did.
He did affect them. Yeah, he did affect them. And it was, I don't know, you know, they should expand and they should do another, not the Big 4, but there should be like the Big 6 or the Big 10. You know, imagine having a fucking metal festival or like an all-day thing of having top 10.
Yeah, but like with the Big 4, they wouldn't be touring with each other. Like they did that just because, I believe, because what's his name from Slayer that passed? Jeff Hanneman, because he passed. Like I'm pretty sure he told like his felt. There's an eerie picture that I've seen, David.
Yeah. When
they played at California, where one of the members from Anthrax is just like, so it's like the Big 4, all of them, like all the band members. And one of the members from Anthrax is like just eerily looking at Jeff, like like, it's weird. Like, he's looking at him like he knows something. Yeah. Like he was terminally ill or something.
Yeah.
And they had that festival. I wish I would have seen Jeff Hammond play live. Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... I don't know. I mean, I think they could still do it, dude.
You think so?
They could. I think they could expand.
But like I'm telling you, like you're saying, like it would be awesome if they did it again, or
yeah. Metallica won't do it though.
No, because we were talking about earlier, like who's gonna be opening up for them. Whatever happened to like big bands opening up for like other bands?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Metallica doesn't want to do it, it makes sense for them to go first. Get them out of the way and go to your fucking little tent.
Metallica already forgot that they were like supporting Ozzy back in the 80s.
Yeah, no shit.
Back with Master of Puppets.
Yeah, they even I think they even supported Anvil. I think at one point.
Did they really?
Yeah, I think at one point. Which, by the way, I'm hearing Ozzy is very, 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 very sick right now.
He's ill.
Yeah, very bad. He's in the hospital in intensive care. I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully he gets better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because we don't need another guy like that to go.
No, not this year.
Nah, man. I mean, it was fucking heartbreaking with Peter Steele from Typo, Lammy,
he canceled. Dio. Dude, he canceled his tour in Europe.
Yeah,
and Judas Priest had to drop.
No shit.
Yeah, they said they put on a statement that they're going to support Ozzy, but I mean it was the right call.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Plus, Sharon would probably not be happy about it.
Yeah.
She would end their career.
Seriously. I mean, the man's already at a pretty... He's already like an older man. He shouldn't be touring that much. Nah. But then again, he puts himself in that position. Like, dude, come on. No more tours. He tried calling out over no more tears. Yeah. Like, dude, you've been retiring since 1992? Yeah. Come on now. I mean, you're putting yourself in that position if you keep wanting to tour and tour. Yeah. Like, ended already. Yeah. I mean, not ended in that fact, like, we want to be alive for as many years as possible, but he's been on
retire.
Yeah.
Go on vacation, bro. Just enjoy life. Enjoy your wife.
Go on a cruise. Go on a 70.
Go on a 70K cruise.
For real.
Yeah, no shit, huh? Yeah, he needs to...
He'll recover. He's going to make it.
Yeah, I really... I mean, it's just bad, but I'm glad he's at least now finally in the hospital,
Yeah, the Prince of Metal or the Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
So, now that we're kind of going on to our next segment, it's funny because like I kind of wanted to keep people in suspense.
Yeah.
You know, what we're going to talk about, we're going to dissect a famous heavy metal band. And I actually put up another teaser meme of... it was like, what's his name from The Matrix?
Yeah,
and it was like, did you know or whatever?
I saw that. On
your
Instagram.
Soul's gonna burn in the lake of fire. So that was my hint. You know, can I play with matches?
Hell yeah, with matches.
So we're gonna be talking about, and we're gonna be going over Iron Maiden. So we're gonna go over everything from album covers to, you know, the different singers from Iron Maiden, we'll cover a little bit on the side projects that they've done.
Yeah.
Just kind of, the major thing before we start with them, the one thing that I did want to talk about that I think is a huge deal is I feel like besides Metallica, these guys hit what I call it is the international jackpot.
What do you mean by that?
The lottery. Like, they hit the fucking international lottery, dude. Where it's almost like they can do no wrong. Like, they can go anywhere, they can tour anywhere, and they're always going to sell.
Yeah.
And they're very successful. I mean...
But you know why, right?
It's like...
They toured and toured and toured. Back in the day, they used to tour everywhere.
Yeah, and they played anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah. And I think with like, let's say, Metallica changed music in terms of no one was hearing metal play that way before. You know, so they were kind of pioneers in what they were doing. So I think that's cool in itself. But which is why they got huge after that, right? But then you see Iron Maiden, you know, they were started a little earlier. And I mean, now they can go anywhere they want. Yeah. They can go anywhere they want, man. They can play literally anywhere and they'll always sell out.
Yeah.
They will always sell out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the band. It's the band we all have in common. That's the band that... I mean, you're a metalhead just as you say you're in your mid-30s. I'm also in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
But we've been listening to this band for quite a while now. And like I was telling you earlier, I've been listening to this band, Maiden, like recently. I went through all their albums. Yeah. And it made me appreciate it even more.
Right.
Even more because that's like a band that I like grew up listening, and then little by little I started really getting into the band.
Yeah.
To the point I started collecting their albums because, I mean, sure, you can stream this music on YouTube, but there's just something different, like holding it in a physical format and actually seeing, like, the art and the lyrics and, like, the booklet and holding the jewel case.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
That's the same thing. You know, I was talking with one of my buddies about that. Well, looking at album art, checking out the lyrics, looking at everything and holding it in your hands and stuff, and the curiosity of like, you know, what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and definitely cover art is one of the things that always gets me from bands.
So let's dive right in.
All right, go for it.
So this is the first album, right?
Yeah.
It grabs your attention because of like who's this guy in the portrait?
You got a fucking zombie on there, man.
Yeah. And then, it's Eddie.
Yeah.
And then you think about the songs this album has Prowler, Sanctuary, Remember Tomorrow, Running Free, Phantom of the Opera, dude. That's the track, David. I was listening to it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. A lot of my friends have said that these first two albums were a bit more punk, and I never understood by what they meant.
Yeah.
I guess they were referring to the singer from its first two albums, which was Paul Di'Anno.
Yeah.
But it was never punk, dude. Phantom of the Opera lasts 7 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's the track, dude. It's an amazing track. Yeah. You know, it does it.
Remember Tomorrow is also...
Remember Tomorrow, yes.
A little bit of a ballad type sense in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe the only one, I will tell you, that maybe the only song that has a punk attitude would probably be Charlotte the Harlot.
I was going to say
That's probably the only one, maybe, huh?
Yeah.
That has more of a punk feel.
And Iron Maiden kind of too.
Yeah.
But I think it's an overall album, dude. You can appreciate the art.
Yeah.
That logo, it's that logo that gets you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, they have a font. They have their own font now.
Yeah.
You know, it's Iron Maiden font.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I love the just straight up Eddie's. His fucking eyes and shit is all crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera, man. There's just so many good songs. Transylvania,
Transylvania, that's an amazing instrumental. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Overall, man.
Solid album.
Yeah.
Solid album.
Oh, a debut, man. Fucking solid, man.
Yeah. Sure. The CD comes with like a special enhanced versions of like videos, I guess, but I've never actually seen them.
Yeah. Do you know if does Eddie have a last name?
No, I don't think he does. It's just Eddie.
Just Eddie.
Yeah. It's like Cher.
Yeah. Prince.
Yeah.
Or the artist formerly known as Prince. So I wanted to go over really quick. Now that we're talking about Eddie, the you said, what's the name of the artist who wrote?
Derek Riggs.
So Derek Riggs, he said it's based off a dead soldier's head that was stuck to a tank.
Yeah.
And we don't know if this because
he was supposed to be like an American head, I guess.
Yeah.
Like an American soldier.
Yeah. So the head was already mummified.
Yeah.
And it was on top of the tank. And no one knows officially if it was World War II or what era, what year. I think it might have been World War II. But, yeah, you got that from a fucking tank. And
That's crazy.
I saw the
he has horrible skin. Look at him.
Yeah, I know. He's all mummified. He needs to moisturize, man.
Yeah, for real.
But it was funny because I saw the picture and I had already seen that picture. There was actually like this black metal band that had the picture, that same picture.
Oh, really?
As their album art. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that was interesting, I thought. And then right now we'll go over, when we go into Number of the Beast, we'll talk about something interesting. So, you want to roll over into Killers?
Yeah. So Killers, this is as far as Maiden goes with covers, this is probably one of my favorite covers, dude. I'm actually wearing the shirt from...
Oh, yeah, you are?
Yeah, from that album.
Yeah. I think this is
it's a very most
iconic.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. Yeah. It's like one of the most iconic.
Yeah. Murders in the Rue Morgue.
Yeah, that's still so the second album is still with
Paul.
Yeah, with Paul Di'Anno, which I thought he did a hell of a job.
He is for what it was. Singer, dude. He was a really good singer.
He was a good singer.
Yeah.
He's still. I think the guy's still around. He's still playing. He was playing with the Maidens.
He was doing his own solo stuff, right?
And he was last time I seen him, he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
he was in a wheelchair.
But was he playing like all Iron Maiden or just Paul Di'Anno era?
Paul Di'Anno era.
Oh, that sucks. He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think he. I don't really. I mean, it would be weird seeing him do any Number of the Beast.
It wouldn't make sense.
No, him covering Bruce Dickinson.
But I think he has a solo albums, no?
He must. He on this particular album too. They had on these two albums. They had a drummer, Clive Burr.
Yes.
And he passed away, unfortunately, like a few years back.
Right. Yeah.
He had MS.
That's a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So, yeah, he did have a solo career, which is called Paul Di'Anno. And some of these were actually... Oh, shit. This seems like all... This one looks like just the greatest hits.
Really?
He's got all the tracks from these two.
Oh, for sure.
And then...
That's where he made it.
Yeah, and then... He's got the world's first Iron Man. He's got...
He had a really good voice.
Paul Di'Anno.
An amazing voice.
So it looks like all his solo stuff, a lot of the solo stuff, he did a lot of Iron Maiden, just versions of his own. Mm-hmm. He did have a couple that were just his own stuff, originals. Wow.
So he did have a career. Post.
He did have a career, but he still rode the
with Maiden.
Yeah, the coattails.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, that's where you know him from. Where else are you going to know him from?
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the only logical thing for him to do. Do you know why was he ousted? I have no idea. Or what did
he was on the documentary. It said that he had some drug issues. They never mentioned what drug of his choice, like what drugs he would prefer.
Yeah.
And he liked drinking a lot too.
Yeah, that's always that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't able to perform on stage. Steve Harris says that there was this one time where he just wasn't able to make it. I guess he was too hungover.
Yeah, anyway,
and he couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't rely with the singer.
Yeah,
but then again, I'm thinking that they didn't want to deal with it, and maybe they did want to go like a different approach.
Yeah,
like vocally.
Yeah, maybe.
They wanted to accomplish other things and. I mean, they might have let him go, for those reasons, but you never know. This is where I guess this is the second and last album with the band, but he made a name for himself, and he was an excellent singer.
Yeah, he was, for sure. And I wonder if during that time they were already looking into Bruce.
Yeah,
if they were trying to poach him from Samson or whatever, or did he leave? Mm-hmm. You know, how did that whole... I don't know how that whole situation came about. But
we have to agree that Bruce Dickinson made, like, a significant difference, and he took the band, like...
Oh, yeah.
You know,
and elsewhere. Talk about a hell of a fucking front man, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw him, and I think you were there, too, Dio and Motorhead. Holy fuck. Yeah. Dude was running around and running around and running around.
Yeah.
And going up the fucking ladder and getting on these platforms and then coming back down and then running... Yep. And then...
That was a hell of a show, dude.
Yeah, and... I mean, the dude is just...
all over the place.
On fire, dude. Yeah, absolutely. And so... I mean, he hit the highs, dude.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the most significant and important
singers. He came into this album, and I believe... There's a song from his solo career that he has, Born in 58. So this was released in, what,
83.
83. Yeah. So it's what, 58, 68, 78. How old was he? 25, 24-year-old Bruce Dickinson by this time?
Yeah.
Dude, and this is like the album where Bruce Dickinson makes his first appearance.
Yeah.
The third album, which is The Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers of Death has an album like this. I don't know if you've seen it, dude. Yeah. Like, they ripped straight up, ripped him off.
They were mocking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I heard this album was supposed to be like it was supposed to be with like a blue background.
Okay.
And it would have suited. I mean, like, it would have looked way better, dude. In my opinion, the original album art was supposed to be blue, the blue background. Yeah. But someone fucked it up.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, I dig it now, and it's like, dude, it's the number of the beast.
I just barely noticed that. So Eddie's puppeteering.
Yeah.
The devil, Satan, and then Satan's puppeteering another mini.
Yeah.
Eddie.
That's crazy.
I never saw that.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, dude.
It's an awesome album.
Yeah, it is.
It's a legit album. Like,
through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
they should have started that. Like, I've heard a lot of people say that they should have started with The Number of the Beast, dude. Imagine how awesome that would have been
to start off the album.
Yeah, because that's a verse from the Bible. I'm not sure exactly what. Yeah, but I mean that would be an awesome way to start to introduce Bruce Dickinson to Iron Maiden.
That would have been amazing. I mean, just do a reorder of it.
Yeah, because Invaders is it's a good track.
Yeah, yeah, but you have to think though, if you're a lot of times because there was because I do promos and review stuff right now. There was an album that I was reviewing, and that there was 2 or 3 different album lists. The way it was tracked was different depending on the region.
Oh,
and
really?
I thought that was really fucking cool. That was really weird. I've never seen that before.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and so I was like, that's fucking cool. What if they would have done a retrack, in order?
Yeah,
it makes a difference too for some people.
Yeah, it would. It would have made a difference.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously here. I think the Enter Sandman, Run to the Hills, which I think continues to be,
overplayed.
But it's still one of those songs where, have you tried singing along to that shit? It is hard.
Yeah,
Bruce has this way of singing that even on the chorus part, dude, it's hard, man. There's just no way to do it unless you're like really. He
was an opera singer.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the lungs for it.
Yeah.
And that's something that Paul Di'Anno couldn't. He couldn't sing that style.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
They have a song called "Invaders" that Judas Priest has their own, but it's not the same song. It's Invader.
Okay. Oh yeah.
But I mean, solid album, dude. Yeah.
Number of the Beast. Hallowed be thy name. That's the
Hallowed be thy name. Holy fuck. Yeah. I think that's like the song.
Yeah.
And I heard that I remember when I saw them play live, they can no longer play that live.
No way.
Yeah. That they got in some sort of a lawsuit.
Oh, that's right.
But
lyrically, they took some lyrics.
Yeah.
I think from this other guy who wrote it a long time ago. I think they might have paid him off, dude.
I think if they don't, they have to pay him royalties.
I think that's right. But I think they paid him. They settled, I think.
Yeah?
I think, because it was...
But that's horrible, though. Like, we can never see them play... We can't see them play this song live.
That sucks. What if they change the name?
Who would take them... for reals. That's crazy, but...
Hallowed be thy fame.
Hallowed be thy fame.
It just changed it a little... I'm sure
just
Bruce...
tweak it a little bit.
I'm sure Bruce can do it. He's a master of words.
But, I mean, you would never think, like, all these dudes are, like, stealing lyrics or...
Yeah. Or they stole a couple of licks. I think that's what it was.
Damn, that's horrible. Yeah. That's like, I think that's one of my favorite top three songs.
Yeah.
Like the solo, everything, dude, everything. I love that song.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
So this was 83?
Yeah.
82, 83? Oh no, it must have been 82. So the fourth album, whatever.
Yeah, 82.
So we're the fourth album. And this is Peace of Mind. This is where... This is where drummer Nico McBrain comes into hand. Yeah. Like, he comes in, joins the band.
Nico. He's fucking crazy, man.
Where he goes there, dude. Revelations. I love that fucking Flight of Icarus.
That's my favorite one right
Die With Your Boots On. And then they have The Trooper.
of course.
It's an anthem, but it's like kind of overplayed.
Yeah.
But it's the anthem, dude. It's the anthem.
Yeah.
Look at the art, though. Like, the album art. Fucking Eddie. It looks sick.
Fuck, yeah.
And the straight jacket, dude.
Yeah. He's already tearing that shit apart.
Yeah. It's sick. I mean, they're making...
I love how they have the variation of Eddie, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes with hair. This one, he doesn't have any hair.
Oh, that's right, huh?
You know what I mean? The other hair was all spiky in the first one.
Yep.
More punked out.
He's a Phil Anselmo, dude, a mascot.
No shit. Fucking always changing and shit.
Fucking Phil, dude.
Yeah, Flight of Icarus is probably one of my favorites.
That's a sick track.
Yeah. And then The Trooper, of course, Still Alive.
Man, I wish we could put some sort of Maiden background music right now.
I know, man.
That'd be awesome, but...
Yeah.
That would be... We'd have to pay him.
I mean, there's issues with... there's like
we can only discuss it and talk about it.
There's copyright issues that we could probably play.
We could? You think so?
We could. It's just,
No, we would have to pay them. I'm pretty sure they would have to ask us for like some sort of...
There's a fair use clause that's if you're critiquing or reviewing, it's okay.
Yeah.
And if you're just doing that and you're not making money off of it, which we're not, but it's...
We're not.
Yeah, so it's okay, So, I mean, but I don't want to get risk of it getting pulled off Spotify or getting pulled.
I see.
YouTube will pull it.
Will they?
YouTube will fucking pull it. So that's why now all the podcasts are up there because they'll fucking pull. They'll pull it. And Spotify said that they would pull it if it's copyright infringement, but they didn't pull the other episodes. Because I think maybe when they reviewed it, they're like, we're reviewing it, we're talking about it,
right,
critiquing it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But I still want to have other avenues for people to listen to the podcast. So if they're not able to have Spotify, if they're not able to have iTunes, they can go to Radio Public, which I always recommend. That's an Android app.
That's the one I have.
Yeah, Android app, and it's actually for iOS also. But if not, they can do it on YouTube, right? They could also do it through Twitter. The Twitter we have, that's also another account that they can check the podcast out. And also just straight up That Metal Podcast website.
Give us a like and give us a comment.
Yeah.
Tell us what we're doing right and wrong.
That's actually...
Content.
Yeah, man. Give us ideas, dude, because that's what I really want is...
Feedback
and ideas. I know next podcast we're going to cover a little bit more... a heavier band, different genre of music, and we're gonna do. Again, I wanted to really quick bring up that we're gonna bring back album recommendations, and we're gonna bring back album reviews, because I feel like a lot of people were actually really digging the recommendations.
Yeah,
a lot, man.
Yeah.
So I know for sure.
I was keeping up to like recommendations that you guys would post, dude. I was actually looking up into that.
Yeah.
So I mean, we need to bring those back.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think that's a lot of fun. Just going into different bands, I would put one or two.
Yeah.
Recommendations for this one. I'm gonna just do one.
Okay.
Because I'll talk about it a little bit in detail. But all right, so we're gonna go to our next album. Now this is Power Slave.
This is Power Slave.
What was
Aces
it?
High, dude. 2 Minutes to Midnight. Lost for Words. Flash of the Blade, The Duelist.
Oh, Flash of the Blade, man.
Back in the Village, Power Slave, and Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Before we go any further, I want people to check this shit out. Power Slave, 2 times platinum in Canada.
Damn.
Germany, it went gold. Japan went gold. Spain gold. UK gold. Platinum in the US. Peace of Mind, 2 times platinum.
It's an amazing album.
In Canada, yeah.
It's probably my favorite album, David.
I'm with... Man, I'm stuck between Power Slave and Iron Maiden. Just still self-titled.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, a lot of these albums went double platinum, man. I mean...
They're really successful for a reason.
Canada, Number of the Beast, Canada, 3 times platinum in Canada. Me.
That's unheard of now, like today.
Oh, yeah. You can't, but because everybody's releasing one-hit wonders, dude.
Yeah.
They're releasing singles. They're not releasing albums anymore. Which I'm hearing a lot of people, it's the way to go. Release singles and don't release fucking albums.
And it's such a shame, dude, because look, they would never play Rime of the Ancient Mariner on radio because it's such a long song. Yeah. It's too long. Flash of the Blade and The Duelist are incredible songs. Like,
yeah, Flash of the Blade.
Instrumentally, dude. Instrumentally, they are superior.
Yeah.
Like, this album, it has to be my favorite album for sure.
Yeah. I definitely have to agree with this was one of the better albums. Like
the album art, the tracks.
Fuck yeah, man. And then it's like, you know, these guys who were always diving into sort of like historical events or there's a lot of history involved with a lot of the stories that they tell, with a lot of the songs that they have. I think Flash of the Blade could be, for me, probably one of the heavier Maiden songs.
For sure.
I think probably from the 80s, you know, probably one of the heavier songs. But look at Eddie, Mummified Eddie. You know,
that's awesome,
like Sphinx Eddie.
Yeah. There's all these hidden messages in that album.
Yeah. It's really fucking
I think
cool,
there's
man.
one hidden message that says that Indiana Jones was here, or something like that.
For real?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I like the... There's a Grim Reaper over here.
Is there?
Yeah. In the corner.
Oh, no way.
That's freaking cool. I never noticed that at all.
Oh, wow, dude.
You see it, and it's just by looking at it, just like... Can you imagine, though, being a teenager during that time?
Oh, for real?
You know,
dude.
You're probably smoking dope, drinking beer, whatever. And checking out, which is like what they do anyways now, but that would have been a normal thing back then.
That's the thing, though. Like, if you don't end up buying the physical format, you might end up like getting into certain tracks, because that's the way I ended up getting into tracks that I would have never heard of.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because we're so used to like Run to the Hills, The Trooper.
Yeah.
You know, songs like that.
Yeah, like you go deep into the album, and checking out other songs for sure. I mean, that's the thing too with, like, let's say Megadeth and Metallica and bands like that, where, you know, most metalheads talk about albums and songs like it's normal, like
right.
Like it's normal, like. It's not like, oh, I'm only gonna talk about the greatest hits. No, they like talk deep into like the albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. If you could try to do that with every band, that's good, because because everybody.
When we're eventually gonna do it,
we're
eventually gonna do it so we can have more content on that metal podcast.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing too, is that like there's just so many bands out there, and I think. That's why I'm always asking the listeners, hey, give us bands or give us ideas.
Yeah.
Because not only that, it's also for them.
Exactly.
Because then...
What do they want to hear?
Yeah, because, I mean, you want us to talk in detail about a band, then we can do that.
Right.
There is another podcast who do obscure bands, though.
Okay.
They talk about obscure bands and maybe some that... are not so obscure, but most of them are obscure.
Like your idea that you were saying that we're going to talk about like death metal, like next week, or black metal. Like, I really dig that idea, so it can be content for those types of listeners. Yeah, exactly. I know, and I don't want it, like I was saying earlier, I don't want people like, you're talking shit about Eddie Trunk all the time, but you're doing the same thing Eddie Trunk is doing and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I don't want that to happen. That won't happen. That won't happen with our podcast.
Yeah, I want it to be different, you know what I mean? Yeah. Where it changes all the time, you know? And you guys will get that when we talk about our recommendations and our album reviews. Yeah. There's definitely different types of music. So, with that being said, we're going to go to our next. So, the next album is Somewhere in Time. This is where they started incorporating, the synthesizers, I believe. Mm-hmm. Caught Somewhere in Time, dude. I mean, that just gets you like right off the bat. Yeah. I remember I used to cover that song. It's probably my favorite song here. Wasted Years, Sea of Madness, Heaven Can't Wait. The loneliness. That's my favorite. Yes, the loneliness of the long distance runner. Underrated. As fuck. Yeah. My favorite track probably from Iron Maiden. Fuck yeah, dude. Definitely. It gets progressive. Yeah. It gets heavy. Yeah. I love that track. I'm on you with that. Fuck yeah, dude. Strangers in a Strange Land, Deja Vu, and then Alexander the Great. Fuck yeah. Like, they're teaching us about history in already. Song. Yeah. Hey, look at Beachy Bruce is already dressed up. He's all dressed up here. Cyborg Eddie. Yeah. He looks cool, dude. He looks all futuristic. Fuck yeah.
I mean, it's top. What is it? Top. At least for me, it would be like a top 3, top 5 albums.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love all those tracks, dude. It's like we're going into the golden era of the band, if I may dare say.
Since '86.
Yeah. A lot of people weren't digging the whole synthesizer thing. Like they weren't.
It's alright. I mean,
but then again, it's rare when I see people cover songs from that album.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
That's true.
Like I don't think the Maidens cover. They may cover like a song or two from that, but I'm not too sure.
The ladies.
Yeah,
the Iron Maidens.
The Iron Maidens.
I like Wasted Years too. It's a bit of a. I think it's a crowd favorite. I think where like they get people singing and shit. Yeah.
It's not an obscure album by any means.
No. I love the album art, man. I'm telling you. Dude, so I was seeing that there was supposed to be a shitload of
secret messages or hidden messages.
Yeah.
That
what could this one be? Look. What? This is an album. This is an album cover? Is this Black Sabbath? I don't know. Let me see. Who does that? It looks like a falling angel. Like he's falling down.
That's Zeppelin.
Is that so? That's a Zeppelin.
That's a Zeppelin reference.
So this is a Zeppelin reference, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see that. The shirt.
Yeah,
I see people's shirts.
There's a CD called this album called Best of the B-Sides, and they cover Communication Breakdown.
No shit.
Yeah, from Zeppelin. They're Zeppelin fans.
You know, my favorite cover Iron Maiden did was Dr. Doctor.
Oh, for real?
They covered from UFO.
Yeah,
they did Dr. Doctor.
I want to get that album.
That's that was on something Ed Hunter.
Yeah,
something. It was like an album.
I used to have that album. The Ed Hunter used to be a compilation album, and it came with like a video game.
Yes.
A first-person shooter video game.
Of Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're probably one of the first bands to have besides Kiss, to have a video game.
Oh, that's right. Kiss had one,
Yeah. It was, I think, on the Dreamcast or some shit.
Yeah.
But I remember they had that, and they have Dr. Doctor on there, man.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean... That's a badass.
Hey, they covered a bunch of bands. They covered ZZ Top, I believe.
No shit.
Yeah.
I love ZZ Top, man. Yeah. They're fucking... Dude, they're a metal dude. ZZ Top are for sure metal, dude.
It's heavy metal blues.
Yeah. Texas, and
they're from Texas.
Yeah. Texas heavy metal blues, man.
Yep.
Fuck. No, it's a good album. Love this album cover, dude. The artwork. Like you say, Cyborg Eddie. The Terminator Eddie.
Yeah. It looks all sick.
Definitely, fucking Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner, man, and it's such like a specific title, like the loneliness of a long.
You're so right,
yeah,
dude. Are all runners lonely?
I know, right?
Are all of them lonely?
And then if they do, are they listening to that fucking album and shit?
If they're listening to that album, oh, dude, it must be amazing.
I know, right? He's so right. Bruce understands me.
I do get lonely when I'm running.
That's funny, dude.
Damn. So, we're going to jump into the next album, which is what is it? Oh, it's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
Yes.
This is the album, dude. Moonchild, Infinite Dreams.
Yeah.
Can I Play with Madness?
Fuck yes.
The Evil That Men Do.
That's a badass song.
Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That's the track.
Yeah.
The Prophecy has to be my favorite track from this album. And then it has The Clairvoyant and Only the Good Die Young. It was a great album. Yeah, Look at the cover art. What is he holding? Like a heart or...
It's a heart baby.
Yeah.
It looks like a baby. And he's got an apple here.
Is that an apple?
It looks like an apple. Looks like an apple.
I think you're hungry. Dude, it is a carameled apple. You're
right. Is right. It's something.
It looks like an apple.
It looks like fruit.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I think that one is one of the also my favorite ones.
Yeah.
I think this one I just bought it at All That Music just under whim. It was cheap and I just fucking bought it. And I was like, fuck, this is badass.
They have that album recorded on oh my god, what is it called? Made in England? Yeah. They recorded, but it has horrible I think they recorded it indoors and it just looks shitty. Like,
no way.
Yeah. It sounds amazing, but I guess it's the audio. The visuals look horrible.
Yeah. So, I like this. And I think Can I Play With Madness, The Evil That Men Do.
Yeah.
Only the Good Die Young, The Clairvoyant.
That was a concept album.
Mm-hmm. Was it?
Yeah.
You know what? Mm-hmm. Actually, now that you say that, it kind of
makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of makes fucking sense. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, I never saw the inside. There's like all these glaciers of Eddie.
It looks awesome.
Different iterations of Eddie.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Look at that shit. That's fucking badass, dude. Little fucking iceberg Eddies.
The same guy that was drawing the Eddie from the first album was still doing his artwork here. Yeah. I think he stopped it like in a later album, but
yeah,
like you could tell it's all him.
You know what's funny? If you go to the back, and I'm seeing a common trend here where it says mixed and produced and whatever mastered by Martin Birch.
By Martin Birch.
And outstanding.
He was who was he producing? I think he was producing with someone. He was.
Let me see.
Oh man. Like I should know this. He was producing someone before Maiden. Like he was already well known, like established.
Okay.
But yeah, like you're right. He must be the reason behind why Maiden's so successful.
Yeah. I mean, it kept
produced and engineered.
So he did Deep Purple, Rainbow,
Deep Purple,
White Snake, Black Sabbath, and Iron Maiden.
He resume.
He also did Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, dude.
Which Lindsey Buckingham's recovering from open heart surgery, so I wish him all the best. There's Deep Purple. He did Wishbone Ash. Blue Oyster Cult.
Dude, this guy's a genius.
So he has quite a resume, like you said.
Yeah, for sure.
Dang. Well, so he retired after Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's the last album they did with the guy that was doing the art as well.
También?
Yeah, I don't know why they let him go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it says here, Birch appears in Iron Maiden's video for Holy Smoke.
Oh, wow, I need to check that out.
Yeah. So, interesting. So, I think, 7 Son of a 7 Son, one of my favorites. We're going to go on to No Prayer for the Dying.
Yeah.
1990.
So, I have the shirt. I love the band. But I think this is where, remember I was telling you, which is the album I don't really kind of like? I think this is it right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely my least favorite.
Yeah.
I think maybe Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
It doesn't have much songs, dude. You can't really work with it.
Nah.
You really can't, Like they've been producing album after album after album of greatness it was bound to happen.
Yeah, now let me see, how many are there with Bruce at this point?
Oh, at this point they've done 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 6th with Bruce.
Yeah.
I don't, and you know what? I'll be honest with you. Even the album art is kind of lame.
Yeah.
It's Eddie trying to get out of a coffin or some shit.
Right.
Sarcophagus or something. I don't know. He's getting out of something. But I think there was this thing where I was trying to think of a theory of some bands hit peak like at album 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, one of my favorite bands, Opeth, after they did Blackwater Park, they kind of did 2 experimental albums. They did Damnation and they did Deliverance. Mm-hmm. One was an acoustic album, one was a death metal album, straight up death metal album, which still sounded like Opeth. And then after that, they started releasing a lot of albums that I just kind of didn't really enjoy.
Okay.
A lot of people were saying that I'm crazy, in which case now, with their recent releases that they've done, I kind of feel like, Load and Reload sounds better than.
Oh, okay. So you're saying...
So now those are the older albums that I like. I'm starting to dig them.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like they hit the wall of creativity.
It happens with every
fifth
band.
album, right? So then you get that, and think about Metallica. The Black Album was their 5th album, and kind of they went downhill after that. And I don't know about Megadeth officially. Mm-hmm. You know, they did. Let's see, Killing Is My Business. Peace Cells.
They haven't had a shitty album.
They have. I mean, they have Risk, which is
I was listening to it today.
You know,
yeah.
The massively underrated Euthanasia, which is kick-ass. I think that's one of the better albums. I think of Megadeth in the 90s.
I really like the cover from that.
Fuck yeah! Like the babies are just
Yeah, and then I see the grandma and I like
no shit.
Yeah, it reminds me of my grandma.
Yeah. But that album is vastly
it's a solid
underrated.
album.
It's a very solid album.
Fuck yeah.
Underrated as fuck. But I mean, 90s era, you know, what did you get?
You get dude, Cryptic Writings. Right, you're right.
You know? I mean, Rust in Peace, of course.
Yeah.
But then you get Cryptic Writings and Risk, and then, I mean, I don't know what else in the 90s.
We're going to go through the 90s album, and now that I'm thinking about it, like, these are kind of weak compared to, like, the earlier 80s.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know what it was, if they were already comfortable, established.
They peaked, I guess.
Yeah. And you see that with them. And then maybe maybe there's a combination of that. There's a combination of grunge coming. Maybe affecting sales.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I see here, for whatever reason, this album, I'm guessing Canada really loves Iron Maiden because it went platinum there and it went gold US and UK. And that's it. Nowhere else. So I'm wondering about that. Kind of curious. Actually, it came out on my birthday in 1990. Cool.
Oh, really?
I was 7.
Damn. Nice.
Yeah. And so I thought that's pretty interesting. But how weird is that, you know, you don't really think about it until you actually start to think about it, that all these factors could have affected record sales or, you know, maybe inner turmoil at this point. We don't know.
Yes, internal. For sure.
Or that something's happening, which we see.
Which something did happen on the next album. That was the last album with Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith.
Yeah, Fear of the Dark.
Yeah, which is the next album. And it has good tracks. Be Quick or Be Dead, From Here to Eternity, Afraid to Shoot Strangers.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite one is Wasting Love because it's a power ballad. But I mean, it has good tracks, but that was the era. That was the end. Huh? That was the end. Yeah, that's when Bruce Dickinson decided to go like his own way, and he took one of the guitarists, and he ended up doing his solo material. Yeah, which is what they needed. I guess they needed to get away from each other and do their own thing, and Bruce needed to experiment to see where he was headed.
I think they all needed to find themselves. I think.
Yeah,
I think for sure.
What do you think about the album art?
I like it, except it's not Eddie.
It's just Eddie on a tree. It
doesn't look like Eddie.
It doesn't.
No, it just doesn't. It looks like a.
I think Swamp Thing looks scarier than that Eddie.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see.
You know, like, what are you gonna do, Eddie? You're in a he looks scary, but he's just gonna be in a tree.
Yeah. Just don't go next to the tree.
Just don't urinate on that tree.
Don't poop on that tree.
Yeah. The album art's alright, but that was like I said, that was gonna be the last year with the last album with Bruce Dickinson. He would cut his long locks of hair after that.
Yeah, but this is weird. That makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Either. It's a red skull with a ring around it.
That's not Eddie.
That's not Eddie.
Nah,
that's definitely not Eddie. So I don't know.
So that was when Derek Riggs. I think he wasn't a part of that, or maybe no, he wasn't. That was that was the last album with the original, the artist that created Eddie.
Very uninspired. I didn't like that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
That's fine.
So we come into like the next albums.
So
that's when.
So things kind of went for a different direction, right?
Yeah.
He left. Bruce left.
And Adrian Smith. They left. So Steve Harris is wondering, like, what the fuck? Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
And they ended up getting the guy was gonna fill in, Blaze Bayley, which ended up doing the next two albums, which is The X Factor.
Now you know what's interesting? Fear of the Dark came out May '92. Mm-hmm. X Factor came out in 1995. October 95. That's some time. In
3 years.
That's some time, dude.
It took 3 years. A lot of people don't really like the Blaze Bayley era. for whatever reason.
It's at that time, you know, especially when I was in high school, I didn't really pay much attention to it.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I started to listen to it more, and I started to appreciate it more. In the same way with Priest, with Ripper, and you know, Jugulator and Demolition.
Yeah.
So in the same way, I started to kind of appreciate Blaze more.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because let me check this out really quick. So.
I dig some of the songs here though. Like I genuinely like the Sign of the Cross, Lord of the Flies, 2 a.m. dude. I love that. I love the guitars on 2 a.m. I mean, if you're not into Maiden, you're not really gonna appreciate this album simply for the fact that it's Blaze Bayley. It's not Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
You're already aware that it's not the same singer, and it's not. I mean, it's good quality music. I still dig it. It's salvageable, but it's not Bruce Dickinson. You know?
So Blaze Bayley came from Wulf-Man. And this I was reading that they're saying that they took a little bit of a darker tone because Steve Harris was going through a divorce at this time. Oh, okay. And so it kind of reflected on the music that it was a little bit more of a darker tone.
But look at the album art.
Eddie's getting torn the fuck apart. Damn.
Yeah.
I actually like this. It's like a little bit of a claymation almost.
Yeah.
Like miniature. Like something that Tool would do.
You know what? That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Tool. But, yeah. And he's getting,
I think it could have been better. I think the album work could have been... The album art could have been better.
Yeah.
It should have been better.
You know what? I think this one I was not paid too much attention to, other than Sign of the Cross. Uh-huh. But I think I need to revisit the X Factor for sure.
Bruce
this was always something that caught my attention though when I would see.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember like being in middle school and I would see it and at Walmart. And Walmart actually had this album.
Oh, did they sell them there?
Yeah, and I saw it there and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And but you know, I never bought it. I think I ended up buying. I don't remember, but it wasn't Iron Maiden. It was. I think it was.
You wouldn't have liked it back then. If you would have purchased it, you would have been disappointed. Like, you would have been expecting something like along the lines of the Trooper.
Yeah.
Or...
I think one that I was amazed that I bought from Walmart, surprisingly, was Painkiller from Judas Priest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was back when
they used to sell metal albums. Yeah, I don't even think they sell CDs anymore.
No, I think
or at least metal CDs.
They sell. They have a little, but that's like greatest hits or like.
And then they always have that parental advisory sticker nonsense.
Yeah, it's like Metallica.
It's edited music.
Yeah, it's definitely edited. If it has the sticker on it, it's edited. So good for parents, I guess, for their kids. But for everyone else,
that's Kids Bop.
Yeah, it's definitely Kids Bop metal. You know what I mean? If there's gonna be a thing, you know, it sucks. I don't feel like Walmart has the authority to do that. I think it's the parents' authority for that. You can't be the middleman. Like you can't just force it.
Yeah,
you know that's not fair. So, anyways, that's a whole other issue,
right?
That but we'll get into. But anyways, so the X Factor, which was not, if you look,
sales.
If you look back, it only went silver in the UK. It didn't even hit gold.
Wow, I'm not surprised.
So so now going back to Virtual 11 came out in '98 with Blaze.
Future Real, The Angel and the Gambler, Lightning Strikes Twice. The Klansman.
That's the one, man.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I don't know if you knew this, there's a 90s R&B singer named, oh my god, what was her name? Oh, Brandy.
Uh-huh.
She ended up she's an Iron Maiden fan for sure, dude. She made
no shit.
Yeah, she sampled the Klansman on one of her songs. Like, and it's, if you listen to the Klansman and then go to YouTube Brandy, and the song's called I Tried. She sampled it, dude. She sampled the Klansman.
No shit.
Yeah, man, and it sounds awesome. It works.
Yeah.
So this woman, like, you think like, 90s like R&B singer. What? No, she's a metalhead, or she's aware that she used a guitar riff, like an intro to the Klansman from Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite songs.
The Klansman's awesome. Hell yeah. I love that track. I mean, but you can't really go off any more tracks besides the Klansman and maybe like another one.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm going to revisit it because now that I'm older, I know I'm digging more things that I didn't think I would like.
None of those two albums, David, are played like the only female tribute band, which is the Iron Maidens. They don't touch on any of those albums, which is unfortunate because they have really good tracks.
The Klansman would be a good shoe-in. I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
And again, as we see here, it's also went silver, but in the UK.
It didn't do good.
No. But I think that's interesting is like 98. And during this time, Bruce is doing... Bruce, My Chemical Wedding. No, My Chemical
Tattooed
Wedding.
Millionaire.
Chemical Wedding.
He's doing a solo project.
Accident of Birth. He did.
And you know what? And I think those albums, compared to like the Maiden albums, dude, no. Bruce took it.
Chemical Wedding is fucking amazing. That's a masterpiece album, dude.
Yeah.
That one is just...
and those should have been Maiden tracks if you think about it.
Yeah.
Had he not parted ways.
Easily could have been. And it could have... But I mean, it is what it is. And it... shortly after Virtual 11, 98, 2000, probably one of my favorites overall, Brave New World.
So this is Bruce Dickinson's return, dude. This is the album.
Yeah, the comeback.
The Wicker Man, Ghost of Navigator, Brave New World, Blood Brothers, The Mercenary, Dream of Mirrors.
Yeah, there's just...
The Fallen Angel, The Nomad, dude. Yeah. Out of the Silent Planet, and one of my favorite, The Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
That's a good one.
Amazing fucking... Dude, they came back with Bruce Dickinson, and they just... It was night and day. Like, it was like, where were you?
Yeah.
Amazing album.
Yeah. All of a sudden, with his little short hair.
Yeah.
And then you get, I think, officially the return of Eddie.
He came back.
Because I feel like that was not Eddie. That's not Eddie.
That wasn't Eddie.
The other Eddie, pobrecito.
That was his Mexican
cousin.
They
lobotomized the other Eddie.
That was his Mexican cousin.
That was
Eduardo. It wasn't Eddie. It wasn't
Ignacio.
But it wasn't Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie came back too. Look at that shit.
And he came back as a clown. Yeah. Like, you can't fuck with Mother Nature.
Nope, chingon.
Yeah, solid album, dude. They recorded that album live, Rock in Rio.
Yeah.
And that's when Bruce Dickinson does the Sign of the Cross. Oh, dude.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah, he does Blaze Bayley. Fuck.
Man, what's insane to me is 3 guitars.
Yeah.
3 guitars, man. That's fucking crazy.
Yannick was already a part of Maiden back in
like early 90s,
no? No, you know what? Back with what album? He was back with them like 1990, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He was already there, but you're right. It does have 3 guitars. Is it necessary? Probably not.
But it just adds.
I mean, what other band do you think has, or have you heard that has 3 guitars, David? Because it's interesting on that approach.
The Gypsy Kings.
They have 3 guitars too.
I think they have 5.
Oh shit!
But that's different.
Yeah,
that's the Spanish Gypsy. I love. By the way, I love Gypsy Kings. By the way, guys. But yeah, the electric.
Isn't it like flamenco Spanish?
It's I mean, they're
tied. I've heard
they're from French. They're from France. I'm sorry. They're French, and they have this Spanish influence. They play.
Oh wow!
Like this. I'll play some later.
I'm down.
I think they're one of those bands that you could translate it to metal.
Oh, for sure.
I'll show you why.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll show you why. But yeah, I mean, 3 guitarists, right? That's pretty fucking crazy. I think that's kind of amazing. You don't see it anymore. I don't
see it much.
You don't see that at all.
Or at all. You're right.
But yeah, Brave New World, dude. To me, was
a comeback album. It was literally a comeback album
for sure. It was, and it's still to me. It has a special place in my heart still. I love that one. And this one went gold everywhere: Canada, Finland, Germany, Sweden, UK.
Oh wow!
So it went gold everywhere.
Not surprised.
Right now. a little bit of I felt like Dance of Death. Now we're gonna go over Dance of Death. It was okay. It was kind of a disappointment following up
Brave New World.
Brave New World. It was kind of.
I dig No More Lies from this album.
Yeah, No More Lies.
Journeyman. But look at the album art. Mannequins. Eddie looks like a Green Reaper.
He does look, and the computer animated shit looks like shit.
Yeah.
Very dated. It doesn't
generic.
It doesn't even look like what could have been done in that era either. This looks like this should have been done in the mid '90s.
Yeah.
The way this art is. And that the CD itself, this like I don't know, this clown type shit, this gesture shit.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I didn't like that, you know.
Nope.
Not a big
fan.
Its
2 tracks.
Wildest Dreams is alright. Rainmaker is alright.
Yeah.
Dance of yeah.
No, I really dig No More Lies.
No More Lies is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Montezegua.
I can't even pronounce that. I don't know what.
Montezegua. Overall, disappointment coming.
I think so.
Disappointing.
Coming after Brave New World.
Yeah. Because I wonder if they spent most of their energy on that and then. You know. But this did come 3 years after, so it was in 2003.
I don't think it's going to get any better with the album art, David. I mean, we love the band, but I mean,
let's
see. Okay, we could just skip into the next album. 2015, I believe.
Which is that one?
This is, it might be earlier, 2010 or 11. This is A Matter of Life and Death.
2006.
2006?
Yeah.
Okay. Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, The Longest Day, The Reincarnation of Benjamin Brigg. Okay.
Yeah.
For the Greater Good of God. It's a good album, but they've outdone themselves already. They already established who they are.
Yeah.
Like, if they could, I mean, that's horrible to say. If they wanted to retire, they already done, called it a day. Like, oh, dude, we already did it. But I'm not digging the album art on that one.
I'm not digging anything on this one, to be honest with you. I only heard a couple of songs and I dismissed it right away. And I'll be honest with you with this one and the next one, too. The Final Frontier.
The Final Frontier.
Yeah.
The Final Frontier is kind of not digging the album artwork.
Yeah.
Not digging the artwork. El Dorado. It has a few good tracks too. Kind of alright tracks.
Yeah. This is like
2015, I believe.
10. 2010. This is
Did it go
Other Dimension Eddie. I don't like this.
Yeah. I think that's the worst Eddie.
El Dorado. Yes, by far. The Talisman and the Man Who Would Be King.
Mother of Mercy, or what is it? Mother of
Mercy.
Another good track.
I'm going to revisit this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to revisit it. I don't like the album art, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool if you want... But it's not Eddie.
It's not Eddie.
This doesn't seem like an Iron Maiden. Definitely doesn't seem like Iron Maiden. It did well. Did it? I mean, it went gold. Platinum in Finland, gold Germany, gold Italy, gold Norway, gold Sweden, gold...
So it was a big hit in Europe.
Gold, yeah.
We just didn't buy it over here.
No. Now, Book of Souls, however, I think is their second comeback. Because now that motherfucker, that's a fucking album.
Look at the album. Look at the dude. Look at the artwork.
Nice. Let me see that.
Although this Eddie does look like he has cornrows. At first sight, you're like, wait, what?
It's supposed to be like painted, huh?
Yeah, but it looks like he has cornrows.
It does. He looks like Street Fighter Dalsim.
There you go. Fucking Dalsim.
Yoga Flame.
Yoga Fire.
Yeah, looks exactly. He does. He has the ears too, dude. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny, dude. Oh, man. Easily the red and the black, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's one of like my favorite. Speed of Light. It's good.
The Book of Souls, dude.
Book of Souls.
It's a good track.
Dude. This was, I think, their second comeback.
Yeah.
If there is such a thing, this is it right here.
Well, we're only gonna know if they have another album. If they release another album, either it could be good or it could be like,
Yeah, I think are they in the studio?
I haven't heard of a new album. This was 2016, I believe.
15.
Oh, 15.
Yeah, let me check.
Wow, it's 4 years old already.
Let me check to see if there's anything going on right now.
Oh, I hope so.
Doesn't seem like it.
They're gonna come to like Albuquerque this year.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's the thing, though. Like, I haven't seen this band since I was a teenager. You know,
yeah, I need to see them again. I need to see them again.
Same.
Like I have to fucking see them again. So summer of 2016, they launched a video game, Iron Maiden: Legacy of the Beast, inspired by the.
Have you played that
title.
game?
No.
It's I mean, I lost interest right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even play it.
Yeah, it's it seems like it's an RPG sort of.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But
I might check that out. I like RPGs. But it didn't grab your attention. And it's a mobile game, it says. So.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So other than that, I hear that they're just going to start North and South American shows in 2019. That's it.
Maybe we'll catch them. Maybe they'll come over. Nah, hell no, they won't come over here.
I don't mind. I mean, I'll check them out, dude. Wherever the fuck they are. If it's Albuquerque, for sure.
They'll always play Albuquerque.
If there's anything, I'll try to check that out. I know. We'll see though. I think one thing that I wanted, I forgot to add.
Yeah.
On the Number of the Beast album. So their producer, apparently, let me see. Their producer got into a car accident, and
I heard about this.
The repair bill was $666.
666 pounds.
Yeah,
and the guy's all like, "No, you have to charge me like another pound." I don't. Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Yeah, and that's pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
Martin Birch.
Yeah.
Got into a car accident. Thoroughly spooked, Birch demanded that the repair shop charge him an extra £1 to ensure nothing demonic happened to him.
Oh, wow.
Stay away. It's fucking hilarious, dude. Now, the one thing that I would definitely want to bring up, because Iron Maiden is so badass and they're so, they're so legendary,
right?
Is they have Ed Force One.
Oh, that's right. And Bruce Dickinson's the pilot,
right? He's
the
pilot, man. So he's a commercial pilot. Like, he's a legitimate pilot. Like, he's done... That's not his first rodeo. He's done plenty before.
He does fencing for, sport.
Also,
yeah.
So it's a Boeing 747 converted for whatever they needed. And they have their equipment and everything in there. And he's the one who takes them.
That's amazing.
He flies them. They don't need a bus driver. It's him.
That's amazing.
That is fucking awesome, dude. Yeah. I mean, who else could say that? You know, you have all these rappers in their little fucking private jets. Fuck those guys.
Yeah. This dude's actually, getting on a plane.
Yeah. Oh, the Indiana Jones was here in 1941. That was in Somewhere in Time.
Yeah.
I'm just checking that out right here. That's fucking cool, dude.
The Fallen Angel had to be a reference for
Led Zeppelin. Yeah, for sure. So these guys have their own beer. Which, have you tried the Trooper? We talked about this.
Yeah,
before.
we talked about.
It's all right, man. It was alright. Oh yeah,
the Robinson beer.
Yeah. Is it Ed Robinson?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be, but I think it might be. But you know what? It was the one thing that I forgot to talk about. 70K. People were drinking Bud Light a lot.
Were they?
Yes, sir.
Why?
I don't know, but we had shitloads of beer to choose from, and they were drinking fucking Bud Light.
They're foreigners.
Which,
guarantee you they were foreigners.
Probably, but I didn't know.
For sure. No, we know better than that.
And they were drinking Budweiser también. You know, Budweiser and Bud Light. So this leads me to believe that I still think probably, and I don't give a shit if I get grilled for it, probably one of the best beers ever is Bud Light. Because if I don't have cash, I will buy a fuckload of Bud Light and that's it, man. If I'm in a fucking bind. Because, are you kidding me? A fucking 12-pack of Dos Equis costs $16. I'm not going to pay $16 for 12 beers.
Yeah.
When I could pay $20 for $16, $17. Fuck that, dude.
Bud Light's very common and cheap.
Yeah, man. It's cheap and it's common. Oh, it doesn't fuck you up. You know what? It doesn't fuck you up as much as other beers. But guess what? I'm not gonna be fucking bloated and feeling like shit when I drink Budweiser. Yeah, that makes you feel gross. I feel like burpy, and you don't even get to enjoy your buzz or anything like that.
Exactly.
So that's the only thing I don't like about Budweiser or the heavier beers that are like that.
Yeah,
but
I like the taste.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I like drinking everything else. I love the stouts and I love the IPAs and I love all that shit too. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I'm paying for it, and if I don't have enough money, I'm just gonna buy the cheaper stuff, you know. But again, I'm not gonna go that cheap. That I'm gonna be
Natural
buying,
Light.
Yeah. Or PBR, maybe PBR, but I'm not gonna buy Milwaukee's Best, or I'm not gonna
buy. That's garbage.
Or I'm not gonna go as far as like, let's get some King Cobras.
Oh my god, some 40s.
Yeah, some 40s. I'm not gonna do that. I have done it before. Yeah, I remember one time I bought myself like an 18, and then I got myself two King Cobras. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, God damn, this is pretty good. Fucking King Cobra. I was like, it tastes like apple juice. You just, if it's cold, but when it starts to get warm.
It tastes like shit. Yeah. I haven't drank a King Cobra in a while. Yeah. It gets me too shit-faced.
Yeah, they're not a bad hangover.
Yeah.
They're not entirely bad if you just have one.
Those are too hood for me now.
Yeah. It's a good thing I don't see them very often anymore. But I'd rather just drink Carta Blanca 40s and shit.
Yeah, same.
Caguamas. Whatever.
Yep. Cheap and affordable. And they do the job, dude.
For sure.
Get the job done.
So, I think, now, in your opinion, who was the better singer of the three? Blaze, Bruce, Paul. Now, we're talking about in terms of talent, because obviously the other two only had 2 albums each. Yeah. So you really don't know the totality of what they could have done with Iron Maiden.
Their potential.
We don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. I will say that I think Bruce is Iron Maiden.
Without a doubt. Like, he takes it, dude. He is the singer. Yeah. Because I heard Bruce Dickinson do tracks off the first 2 albums, and he just absolutely kills Paul Di'Anno, dude. There's no comparison whatsoever at all.
Especially Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Killers. Yeah. All those songs, all the songs that Paul Di'Anno did, Bruce just did them better. Yeah. He did them better, dude. Yeah. And it just shows you, how badass of a vocalist he's been, in his career. He's a badass vocalist, for an amazing singer, an amazing frontman. He's still doing it right now. He's still producing albums. He's still doing pumping
stuff out, and he's still. I mean, come on, dude. They have a soccer team, I think. Oh yeah, they own a soccer team. Yeah, they play in the soccer team. They're doing their beer. They're just doing everything. And not a lot of, and this is another reason why I say they hit the international jackpot. Not a lot of bands could do that. Not a lot of bands have the luxury, by hard work. These guys did everything by hard work. They worked their asses off.
They really did
to get everywhere they got. But in terms of not every band has a beer.
They don't have commercial success. They know how to market Eddie. Yeah, the brand. Yeah, the name.
Yeah, dude. These guys hit the jackpot, man. In the same way Metallica hit the jackpot, they could have retired a long ass time ago if they really wanted to, and I think, I still think which era is the best. Well, I'm gonna go with probably 80s
for sure.
For 80s era.
Oh, same.
Do you have any personal favorite songs? Some of your favorites?
Yeah. The Prophecy. Obviously, Hallowed Be Thy Name, The Clairvoyant, The Duelist. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of songs. There's too many songs. There's too many. But for sure, my favorite album has to be Somewhere in Time, without a doubt. Okay. For sure.
I think...
what about you? Do you have a favorite album?
Flesh of the Blade. Album? I'm with...
Flesh of the Blade, dude. Hell yeah.
I'm stuck with Power Slave, Number of the Beast, and Iron Maiden. I'm stuck between those 3. Yeah. That's a good lock between the 3.
They're all good albums.
Yeah.
Peace of Mind's an excellent album as well. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son is an amazing album.
One. That's another fucking good one.
Yeah.
There's not much, like this. I think 80s is probably where it's at right now.
Yeah.
And Brave New World and the Book of Souls. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how crazy is that? There's like a huge gap in the 90s that kind of like, in the early 2000s time, that kind of didn't really, I don't know. They just...
They weren't doing it like as badass as they were in the earlier day.
It wasn't hitting. I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was just between themselves, maybe they got comfortable.
Yeah.
Metallica got comfortable. And other bands get comfortable, and you see that. And it shows.
But they produced so much like good albums in the past already that we're, to a certain extent, like we're expecting like greatness.
I know.
Like we're expecting another Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
We're hopeful for it.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair, huh? Like it's not fair for us.
They already gave us so many like good albums for us to be like, where's the next Number of the Beast, guys?
Yeah.
It's taking so long.
Yeah. I think I think you're right, man. But I think we should probably let's go over to the next segment because I think we did cover Iron Maiden pretty well.
Yeah.
I know for sure the next band we're gonna cover thoroughly would probably be in a more extreme genre, death or black metal, and or maybe a combination of both. Mm-hmm. But like I told you guys, we're gonna go back to album recommendations.
Yeah.
And I'll go first. You have yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with mine. There's this band that kind of has this dirty stoner rock, desert rock, sludge sound, and they're called Superseed.
Okay.
And it's a self-titled album. It's their debut album. It's called Superseed. SEED, Seed. I actually did a review of them on Metal Temple. And I was like, man, what is this bullshit? I'm going to get another fucking...
You didn't like it initially?
No. I saw the cover art. And I was like, man, this is going to be another fucking Beachy stoner metal, mamada, like bullshit album. And I'm tired of this, I'm tired of, check it out. It's over here with the girl. Like, I got tired of listening to a lot of, like, stoner metal and stuff like that. And to me, it's boring.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? I'll just listen to Black Sabbath or I'll just listen to Trouble. You know what I mean? I don't need to listen to all this stuff that's, like, sludgy like that. So I was expecting... But there's so many different sounds. There's so many different sounds, man.
Yeah.
That you're just like, God damn it. They didn't pigeonhole themselves into one style of this stoner rock, you know what I mean? And they have elements of metal, they have elements of psychedelic, they have elements of everything, man.
Yeah.
And so it's a complete album, man. It's for everybody. It's not gonna be just metalheads and whatever. Mm-hmm. You're gonna hear all kinds of people be listening to it.
Okay.
So I for sure recommend Superseed, and I think I gave them like a 9 out of 10 on my review for them. So definitely a solid band, and I recommend them for everybody. If you want maybe even just a little bit something different than your typical metal rock stuff, this is a good album to check out.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I need to start getting into bands like that. But I mean, you have the means of like, because people send you bands, right, that you're not familiar with to review.
Exactly.
I need to start getting like more familiarized with bands as such. So I can expand my horizons, I guess, when it comes to music, because I'm just, I guess you could say I'm kind of stuck with like a genre.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. Like, I want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm going to be learning in this show.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing too that I always say is don't be afraid to go beyond. And
you have to be open-minded.
Yeah, be definitely open-minded. And then what's weird is that since I was doing reviews, like I've been viewing everything objectively and not been already dismissing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though I kind of felt like that with this album, I was like, oh man, another stoner rock. But I was like, you know what? I want to check it out. Well, I have to check it out. Mm-hmm. And I was pleasantly surprised. Okay. So I started to see things more objectively instead of instead of taking it for face value, I'll dive into it and then see what's up.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped me a lot.
Dude, I'm definitely in my comfort zone. I think I should have done my homework better because Like, the band I'm recommending was a band that played at the 70,000 tons. You know, but maybe for, like, next time if we end up doing the next podcast, I'll do something that's totally different, because I wanted to recommend the Sound of Steel from Ex Mortis.
Yeah.
And it's just that this band I've been, like, really into lately. Because there hasn't been a band that's, like, captivated my attention like this guy's. So that'd be, like, the album that I would recommend, The Sound of Steel, which is their newest album.
Yeah.
And it sounds nothing like their first album by any means. They've progressed.
Does it have, like, some dude like Conan the Barbarian or some shit?
Yeah. That's his, I guess that's his stage name, Conan.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know.
Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
But he's been the only consistent member of that band.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him with, like, I've caught this band several times.
Yeah.
And he's had, like, other drummers and other bassists.
I see.
Other guitarists.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, that's a band that I would recommend to people if they're into, like, thrashy, blackened... No, not necessarily blackened. They're neoclassical, like, thrash and...
Like traditional,
death,
too.
Yeah, with, like, death metal vocals.
Yeah.
It's an amazing band. I really dig them. Really dig their artwork as well, their album covers and their shirts.
So, do you think there would be, like a thrashier neoclassical version of, like, Manowar? A little bit more...
I would dare say
aggressive, a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah. They've done... They usually cover, like, on one of their albums, they covered Beethoven or Mozart, but they covered it in, like, a thrashy style with their... with the genre. It goes probably...
That's fucking badass. Well, they go hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand. Yeah,
that's really fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, so hopefully, like, if they come next time, you'll join me, dude, because they're really nice guys, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You missed them. You said you missed them at the 70,000 tons, man.
Yeah, I was at 5. They played late.
Yeah.
And I know they pass by a lot, too. So I'll check them out. If we ever have a venue.
Reals.
Right. I know that they're super young, super nice dudes. So that's cool.
Yep.
I'll have to check that album out, because I know I've been very, very interested, because I've been seeing the name pop out a lot. So I'm like, I definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah, I ended up listening to this band because of Destruction. They were opening for Destruction in Tricky Falls, and you know, it's such a bummer. I'm still mad that we're no longer gonna have a Tricky Falls, man.
Yeah,
it bums me out, David.
Yeah, it's makes all the difference in having a solid place for bands to just come through, and then all of a sudden, you know, we don't have anything anymore.
But then again, it's our responsibility as metalheads to, like, support the scene and like the venues and the bars. And
I think that's tough, dude. You know, because it's an El Paso thing, I guess. I don't know what it is. And then, you know, I kind of want to talk about our next bring back album reviews. So what we did is we decided to go ahead, and each person was going to talk about, was going to pick an album. They're going to cover it and go over it. I'll go first. I went ahead and I decided to pick Evergrey, and the album's called The Atlantic. It's really I want to say a concept album, nautical theme, nautical as in aquatic, water, ocean, and it's definitely, I think, one of the comeback albums. The last few albums from Evergrey, I was very not impressed with the last few albums they've done. Tomas England had been kind of what can you say? You know, he's kind of had a few members come in and out, you know, past several years, and so I don't feel like they had been up to par. But now listening to The Atlantic, I kind of feel like they brought back bits from In Search of the Truth. They kind of went back to Recreation Day, a little bit of Monday Morning Apocalypse, and a little bit of The Inner Circle, kind of all mixed into one. And it's an amalgam of just like everything that they've done, I think.
Yeah.
And if you listen to, I think some of the songs that are that really, 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 really stand out. The Departure, Weightless, All I Have, A Silent Arc, the title, A Secret Atlantis. They have a lot of fucking good songs. This Ocean, and it has a very, like gent.
Yeah.
That style. There's a bit of a gent in the guitars, but not too like of an asshole sort of thing. They're not trying to be...
They don't jerk off?
They're not jerking off. They're not trying to be gent.
Okay.
I'm just saying it sounds genty. Evergrey is a band that they used to be at Inside Out Records. And Evergrey to me is a band that if you like Devin Townsend or a Devin Townsend project or anything that Devin has done solo, not Strappy Young Lad, there's parallels with Evergrey and Devin because Tomas has these beautiful, clean, sultry, like, dare I say, sexy vocals that he's very like, oh, hello. Like, you start listening to it, it's like pretty sexy, you know what I mean? I love his vocals, but there's heaviness to it. There's like this heaviness that comes with the guitars and just everything, And if you if you guys know Devin, he does sort of the same thing. Not raspy or sultry, but he has amazing clean vocals. So if you dig Devin, and by the way, Devin was also on Inside Out too, by the way. But right now, Evergrey are on AFM Records. They're not on Inside Out anymore. Evergrey is a solid album. The Atlantic is a solid album to check out if anything. Definitely, I think a comeback album. If you have not dug their recent maybe 4 releases, for sure this is a fucking outstanding album. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Rob Halfy's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna end up listening to that album when I go home later on, dude.
Yeah,
I need to scope it out.
Yeah, it's an excellent album because it's not, and I think this is a good direction for you too. Yeah, because it's heavy as fuck, but then there's clean vocals, and it's like you get all kinds of different sounds.
Oh, nice.
So it's not just like you're not gonna get bombarded with all kinds of weirdness or anything like that. Yeah. And it's a solid album.
So you're gonna dig it without having like a few beers or like...
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. So yeah, definitely 4 out of 5 Rob Halford's.
Nice. So I got homework and I ended up reviewing... Yeah. Yeah. It was a Float Sem and Jet Sem.
Yeah, boy.
And I remember you telling me, like, dude, do an album review and then listen to this album. Yeah. And I remember my friend was, I think he bought the vinyl. The vinyl looked pretty sick. It was an orange vinyl. Yeah. Yeah. And what caught my attention was like the mascot, and it was already in 3D. But dude, it's an amazing album. I really dug it. Like the first track was called, it's called Prisoner of Time. Yeah. And what stands out, it's like the bass, and that's like the first track. Yeah. So, I mean, right from the get-go, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, this is fucking badass, dude. The double bass pedal stands out, too. On the whole album, like, the drummer and the basses stick out. Not to mention the fucking, the vocalist, dude. Amazing badass motherfucker.
Yeah, he's always great, yeah.
Track number 2, Control, what is it? Yeah, Control. Amazing fucking song. Track number 6, Architects of Hate. Track 8, Unwelcome Surprise. It had an amazing fucking solo. That's all I could say. So there was a song called The Good and Bad, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you right now. The good and bad of the, or I guess a review of the album
overall. Yeah.
So the good thing about it is that it's heavy, dude. It's fast. Mm-hmm. It's thrashy. The bad thing about it is that it might become somewhat repetitive. Like, there's just track after track that it's like, okay.
So some filler.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, overall, it's a good album because we don't have that type of music being produced right now. Yeah. You know, and it's a band that's Arizona thrash. Yes. They're still playing. Yeah. I wish I could see them, like, someday. Yeah. I would give it a 5 out of 5 Halfies, and the only reason I'm not gonna do that is because like the monster on the album art, the monster's ripping apart. It's ripping. He's ripping Lady Liberty's hand, dude.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's committing vandalism, and like I'm against that. It could have been a perfect album, so I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 Halfies.
All right.
But overall, good album. Like, good choice. Amazing album, actually. Really, really good album. I dug it.
You know, one of my favorites, I'm going to check it out, too, because I think I only heard a couple of songs. I'm gonna check it out. Like, my favorite Flotsam and Jetsam was High, 1997. And it has a really cool song called Monster. Fucking chingon song.
Yeah.
But, you know... Flotsam and Jetsam, those guys were always a little...
Do you think it's one of those bands that was always underrated, or...
Yeah. I think they're definitely
I think it's one of those bands that other bigger, more well-known bands should have taken under their wing. Mm-hmm. You know?
I mean... Yeah, I think that's
they should have been exposed more.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't rub elbows with, like...
I don't know. And I mean, come on, they're from Arizona. I wonder if they were just in a bad spot. Yeah. You know, but...
Jason Newsted came from that, right?
Right. Yeah, they came... I mean, I don't even know if that was even beneficial to him to leave.
You think so?
He was treated like shit.
He would have been way better.
I mean, they didn't even fucking put his bass on it, Justice for All.
For real?
His mom on his.
Fucking dicks.
And, I mean, that was one of his... I don't know. I wonder the potential of how badass it would be. Because I know there's mixes on YouTube that have bass. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
They have enhanced bass.
But I don't know if that's the same thing. Is it the same bass lines, or are they people that put their bass lines in?
I think they're just mixing it with like a bass line.
They're just putting in. Cause see, we don't know what Jason would have done. That's why I wouldn't trust those mixes, because I don't know what the fuck would he have done.
You're right.
You know, unless he writes a whole. Like, this is what I did, and then you guys do what you do. You know,
you just need to like re-record it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do too. It's never gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
And even if they did, it would sound like shit probably.
Why?
If they re-recorded it,
you have to capture the moment.
Yeah, man. Lars ain't the same.
Oh no,
Lars is. He's not even. Not even a top 100 drummer in the world, you know? He's...
Really?
Yeah, he's not even that good. He's a average drummer at best. You know? And that's from the beginning. From the beginning.
You think so?
Yeah, from the beginning. He was average.
What made him Metallica then? What made him the big...
I mean, they had that just fucking frantic sound. Just super frantic, fast, you know? Then you hear him mature, like you said, the peak of his skills and Justice, which you never heard of ever again.
We never did, huh?
You never heard it again. He started playing almost fast punk in a Saint Anger.
Yeah.
Sort of laid back in Death Magnetic. Mm-hmm. And then the last album that came out? I forgot the name.
So why did the Four Horsemen sound so good when I was a little kid? Like,
it still sounds good.
It might have been like, oh shit, I've never heard this.
Yeah, I mean, but it's weird because when I heard, you know, when I started listening to stuff, I had bought Kill 'Em All. You know, I also had Cowboys from Hell though.
Yeah.
And then I was listening to Primus, you know, all at the same time. And so I was like, what the fuck, you know, like this were all different sounds.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't know. I mean, if Metallica re-recorded, I would like to see actually how the Black Album would sound.
They don't even have to re-record it. They have the masters. They just need to remix it.
Yeah, that's all they do.
That's all they have to do.
Even if they were to do a petition,
they wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
I mean, these guys are so like, I don't know. They'll go after you guys for everything, and they just probably won't do it. I mean...
They just repackage old material, like remastered, and add like additional shit.
They add additional live songs. Who gives a fuck? I don't want to hear live songs on a CD
or outtakes or shit like that.
I want to. If it's a live, I want to see the live performance. Give me a Blu-ray. Give me a DVD. That I'll watch live.
Yeah,
but I don't want a live album on CD to listen to while in the car or whatever the fuck. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a bunch of bullshit. But live albums. That's a whole other thing. I'm not a big fan, but there's a few out there. So we're getting up to our the end.
This is the end.
This is the end. So I think overall, I'm gonna wrap up. For sure, I think you guys should do the 70,000 Tons of Metal tour festival.
Sounds fun.
Cruise.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. I don't regret it once. It was good. Well, money well spent. I mean, it kind of sucks that you had to go, take flights and do all this shit. I had really long layover coming back home, but no big deal. Comes with the territory.
Right.
And so other than that, like I said, next episode on episode 13, man, this number just keeps getting bigger, man. So I'm very happy and fortunate, and I'm glad to have you on board too. I think there has to be this stability, I think, in bringing back recommendations, album reviews, and having somebody that I could talk to as well, and just have that stability that the show needs. I think the podcast needs this consistency. Exactly. So I'm that's something that I'm happy to have you on board for.
Cool. Oh yeah.
So I think like I said, the next podcast we're gonna cover. We're gonna dissect another band, and then we'll have a few more questions. Some metal questions to see.
Leave us some feedback.
Yeah, and actually, leave us feedback, man. If you guys can spread the word, give a like. But for sure, if you can, do us the favor and leave us feedback,
so you can know what type of content you guys want.
Yeah, man, because that's important.
Yeah. The
more ideas, the more shows are going to be, getting pumped out as fast. So I do agree with that. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, guys, metal for passion, not for fashion.
Laters.